Hello, and welcome to Homebrew, the show where we avoid the crushing dullness of everyday life using our two favourite forms of escapism, alcohol and Dungeons and Dragons.
Hooray.
We all
I was
hooray Dungeons
monologuing.
and Dragons, and none of us hooray alcohol, which is
Telling.
there you go.
Your boy voice is really good. That weekend, that's Bag's weekend with the lads.
Alcohol.
If this is your first time watching, we play a Homebrew Dungeons and Dragons campaign, which is based in a world that's inspired by, but not directly influenced by, Irish mythology, and as we play, we build out that world using the beers we drink at the table. It's taken me like 11 episodes to come up with a concise, and it's not even concise, description of what we do here. You might be, if this is your first time watching, it's you wouldn't notice anything different. If you are a long time watcher,
Which we have many.
we have a special
You're
guest
probably
with us.
not.
We have a special guest. Orla Jill is here with us. Hello,
Yay.
Orla. Woo. It's Orla from TV. Orla, if you want to introduce yourself to the audience, plug away anything you want to plug. How about it?
Take the spotlight off me.
Hey, yeah, I'm Orla. I do the only other Irish TV show. There's just the two of us, so we've got to be mates.
We're rival gangs.
Yeah,
like
we
the
put it-
Carrots and the Bally Kids from War of the Buttons.
Oh, now I'm gonna click into the mics. But yeah, so we make a show called Dublin and Dragons that's currently on hiatus, so you're not missing anything.
A
right
frustratingly good name, by the way.
Yeah.
Well,
Say that.
that's what we managed to squeeze you guys out by being the first, and don't think we don't know this, and feel pretty good about the fact that we put our first episodes up first. So
Not if you
just
count episode 0.
That wasn't a rush job to get in.
But yeah, we thought it was really clever when we picked it. 'Cause we're like, yeah, Dublin Dragon sounds great. All the abbreviations are kind of taken though.
Yeah.
Yeah, so so far in our Discord, people have stuck with dads.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, our promo for our campaign 2 is just going to be, we're your dads now.
That's pretty
Good energy.
Be a different show entirely.
Most people come here looking how to make beer.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
That's true.
We're constantly telling them how to make beer.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Roll the
Orange
D20.
juice, darkness and time, baby.
You roll those dice and see what happens. Yeah?
If we make any mistakes on this show, we love to learn. So you can get in touch with us at Homebrew Quest on all your go-to social channels, or if it's a particularly long description of what we've done wrong, you can email us at rollforhomebrew@gmail.com. I do have a Don't Be That Gygax award to give out.
Yes.
Yes.
You have
For Monty Quack on YouTube.
Great
It was Halflings can re-roll natural ones, which I think you had natural one arm wrestling work, maybe?
Possibly.
It was episode 6.
Ah, right.
Yeah, yeah.
That's going back.
You're normally pretty good with the re-rolling ones. But
Yeah, that's true.
I think you wanted to take the fail though because it was funnier.
Yeah, like I knew that, but I didn't comment on it because I was like, no, it was better this time.
Sometimes halflings don't reroll. They're not, I wasn't going to win anyway.
It says they can.
Yeah. Exactly.
Also in
I
fiction, you
was
let him
saving it
win.
for something better.
Couple of other announcements before we start. A huge thanks to Dakota Irish, our partner with this show. Check out Dakota Irish at Dakota Irish IE on social, or dakotairish.com for all their sweet wares. They make handcrafted dice boxes and dice trays. They make incredible dice. Speaking of, Orla, I have a gift for you from us.
Guess
dice.
Oh.
Guess
For yourself. Some Dakota Irish dice.
It's a lovely bag.
I could put my dice in something I didn't steal from Token.
Irish in jokes.
I picked these out because I know you're a huge Dublin GA fan, or GAA, as I've been told. So I've made them Dublin colours.
They're so good.
Kind of Dublin colours. I don't think there was
They're
exactly.
really good. These
Yeah,
are
yeah,
really Dublin.
Luke, if you're watching, make all the counties. That'll be fun.
Boom. There's $1 million idea.
Hope you don't get...
Nationalism meets D&D.
I was about to make my only ever sports possible joke, which
You
would
look
be,
so different.
hope you don't get all 5 in a row.
Good.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was good.
I don't know
Yeah.
sports, so I was pretty keen to say
No,
that
no.
out loud. Sports and D&D, two things I don't understand.
See, no, we need a new hashtag now. It's the buzzing for the half dozen.
That's
That's
real
good.
good.
So good.
Outside of Dublin, it's pricks with the 6, but that's fine.
We know.
We are also giving away a set of Dakota Irish dice on this show. If you are subscribed to us on YouTube or if you follow us on Twitch, you're already in the draw. So if you don't do that, just hit those buttons. We're going to give them away on our October 29th stream. They are the Devil Gumdrop dice, which you see below me. If I've only realised that you guys are this
Don't tell our
direction,
viewers to do that.
and then the dice are below me.
He's confused.
Stop saying
Yeah,
it.
so that.
yeah.
I thought I was so smug, and I was like, no, did it wrong.
But feel free to share and talk about the show, spread it to your friends. If you like it, now you have other people to talk to about it.
Or make fun of it with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of
Hate watch
other...
is still a watch.
Go ahead and dislike, we don't care.
You won't get those sweet dice. Speaking of other awesome gifts, Lucy gave me a great gift this weekend when we were on my bachelor party stag, whatever the worldwide universal name for those.
Very international.
Not
Yeah.
stags everywhere?
I think there's stags.
Yeah.
They might be
Aren't
stags
they
everywhere.
bucks in Australia?
Well,
Yeah,
A bucks
they are
night or
bucks.
something?
Yes,
Yeah, I
yes,
feel like
yes.
I've heard that.
Boys slumber party.
Yes.
There we
Boys
go.
Slumber
Yeah,
Party,
yeah.
We had a great boy slumber party where you made a game, if you want to talk about it. Or I can
Oh
talk
well,
about
it was the idea was Ben would happily play D&D all weekend. Not all of his attendees would. So how can we play D&D without playing anything D&D related? So it's just D&D-esque characters of a sort of medieval time, but everything was just to do with drinking. That was
Yeah, so I was Princess Ben, and it was called The Curse of Carrick, because we were
Yeah.
Carrick and Shannon. And there was certain rules for certain kind of roles. So there was assassins who, if they got you with a peg, you'd have to drink. There was noblemen who were meant to protect me from assassination. One of them was trying to pay people to kill
Yeah.
me. So what are you going to do?
an actual 50
one guess about who that is.
Oh, my brother.
It's your brother.
Yeah.
He whatever card he drew, it was a wild card.
Very
yeah.
historically accurate.
Yeah, brothers will try to kill the princess.
Yeah.
Yeah, long
It's
live the
true.
princess.
Because the brothers are always trying to get the princesses.
I
Princess's
was
role.
ruler of the... No, there was a Mad King.
Now
That
I
was
want to
not
be
king,
princess.
Your brother-in-law, actually.
Yeah.
But he was the one who refused to be paid to decree that you all died, which was his Simon Says kind of a rule. But yeah, anyway,
We're going to post it up on our social channels, kind of all the cards, kind of individually as we go on. If it's something you like, we can kind of send you the PDF.
Yeah.
If it's something you're more than interested in, we'll try to make it into an actual game because it's stellar rules. We played
really,
it.
really fun.
It's basically if you ever played King's Cup, it's loads of that
It's
kind of
kind of
stuff.
like Kings, except it's all the time more balanced, and one of the cards makes you do a silly voice all
Oh,
the time.
that's true. And there's a Dungeon Boy as well.
Yes,
which
which comes with handcuffs, which I
So if you're going on a Dungeons and Dragons inspired stag, or if your friends don't like playing but you do, as always, thank you to Syrinscape. They're providing the awesome music you're listening to. You can check them out at syrinscape.com because epic games need epic music. And before we jump in, community corkboard to our friend Leslie. The news.
Dungeons and Dragons. The only thing on our meetup, our community corporate is the Dungeons and Dragons meetup group in Ireland, which we have waxed lyrical about before. They're great. They help people learn how to play the game, give people games to play if they don't have any. Their next meetup is a very, very spooky one, also on October 29th, which is when our show is on. We didn't think that through.
Ah, it's fun. Go to that. You can watch
stream
us
it
on
from your
demand.
phone while you're there. Ignore what they're doing. It's fine. It is at Ryan's Bar at 6 o'clock. The game starts at 6:30. The games end at about 8:30, and then there is food. And there is, and this is in capital letters with 5 exclamation marks, a raffle at 9 o'clock. It is €10 entry, and it finishes at 10 p.m. Couldn't recommend it enough. They are equally fun if you are quite experienced or if you're completely new. And they're actually really good at explaining concepts of the game as well. So if you're completely new,
I might call up them to tell me how to explain the game.
that would be good. Yeah, you just go in with a fake mustache because they'll know what you
Like,
look
how do you
like.
explain Dungeons and Dragons in a game that's sort of not really, but kind of inspired by Irish mythology?
Is that your mustache flapping in the
I'm just wearing like a mind player mask. Give me your secrets. As famed dungeon master Bernadette Devlin once said, "To gain what is worth having, it may be necessary to lose everything else." Spoken like a true min-maxer. Good under. Now, without further ado, grab yourself a drink, pull up a chair, as we dive into a world where anything is possible, but not always probable. Paul turns off the lights at this moment, doesn't he?
Yes, you looked directly at me and I was like, I have actually fucked this up already. So shit.
We were going to turn the lights.
I don't know.
Welcome back to the realm of Hibernia.
That intro sequence was suitably awkward and janky. I'm actually okay with it.
Yeah.
Imagine, if you will, a small, shambling country path, carving its way between a crossroads tavern and the farmlands in the distance. Stopped in his tracks a sort of swaying man, and he's having a conversation. Seems kind of one-sided. Not again. They didn't believe me when I was a wee childer. Thought I'd imagined you. Well, if we're doing this, they'll do me the courtesy of tying my shoes first. And he gets down and ties his shoes. And he goes, hang on. Just let me take a swig. And he throws the bottle aside. And from the shadows you see a small set of horns, accompanied by a... And despite its small stature, it's surprisingly menacing. It ducks, nips between its legs, and carries this man just off into the night, and no one from his town has ever seen him again. Although there's rumour of a man who's the spitting image of him. Much, much too far away to have ever made the journey in one night. Rambling about the creature that carried him away. A puka. But that was then. And this is now. So what we see before us is a rather bloody, gut-covered bugbear, axe in hand, railing into what was a sarcastic and overly confident hag, and around him 4 other sexy adventurers.
Sorry, what was that hag's name?
That hag's name was Snake Dog.
Thank you.
Snake dog.
Snake Dog. And I'm going to look up behind the scenes where their hags go to like the hells and can somehow come back, because god damn it, Snake Dog. We'll get you back in the game.
You can do it if you make her a night hag.
Ooh, she was a night hag.
It wasn't like that
You
already.
then yes.
And we're right back into it. It's just very good.
Yeah, we don't want to fight her again.
You don't want to fight you
The only
neither.
one because Ben didn't fully read what she could do. We're like, we are unstoppable killing machines. Oh, there's a second page of a bit.
Well, I thought she just had to continuously be hit by swords.
She was like trying to planar shift herself out of there. She's like, okay, next round I'll do that. They only like, but then the sheer damage and the sheer drunkenness of a 9.8% beer. Hey, that's what this show's all
But it was
about.
mostly the damage.
It was mostly the damage.
Yeah.
Hook, if you wouldn't mind recapping the audience on where we are and how we got here.
Yes, so I should know that. Did we just call it Tirna Nog, or did we actually give it
Otherworld.
a- It's just the
The
Fae,
Otherworld.
the other world.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
It's Fayside. It's near Sutton.
So, we finally went to the old Fae world, and we found the 3 things: the majigger, the thing in the bottle, the other drink. We had a drink of it. I'm sure that was great, actually. In a very short and long period of time, we travelled immediately to the World Tree. I believe that's what it was called. It's for the people out there, as I explained to our viewers, it's a non-Euclidean space. Euclid was a halfling. He came up with the idea. I'm going to keep doing it, so it's canon.
I feel like I'm stuck in the smoking area of some old pub. Like my mates are inside it. Yeah. Oh, yeah, great. Okay.
Come round and let me tell you about Euclid.
We get it. You have a classical studies degree. Okay. A master's in it?
We were trying to save all of the people. I mean, they were trying to save all the people in the village. I was trying to save my new friend Tuborg. Sure, we found them. We found this little wee scunner girl called Snake Dog. And as soon as we found out her name was Snake Dog, sure, we didn't trust her. and it turned out very quickly she was this bloody hag we see here before us.
She wasn't
And I
bloody when we
say-
found her.
Well, not her blood.
Fair.
I was just calling her a bloody hag.
Bloody hags.
And a daft bint.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's a good recap. I don't know if we ever named the tree. We should have. But
I was just guessing World Tree then, maybe.
is the world tree from something?
It's from lots of things, but Norse mythology?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if we have a
Just,
not
yeah.
hugely Irish audience, it's the very mystical tree on Cranmore.
Nice.
It just means big tree.
To be fair though, that's what we would have named it anyway.
Yeah.
As a
Let's go
nation,
with-
not
let's go
good
with
at naming
Cranmore.
stuff.
Yeah.
I was given...
Yeah.
Like that mythical canal, the Grand Canal.
Yeah, well, that's
What
because
is it?
of all of our canals, that's the most okay, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's grand.
Well, now, alright.
Making fun of our canals. So let's jump straight in. Let's roll some hit dice, because everyone leveled up. They're now level 5 adventurers. Woo! Or level 5 stumbler into plotters. That's how I
Yeah,
like
probably
to
that
affectionately
one,
call
yeah.
them. So go ahead and roll your hit dice in
Oh wait,
the.
that's D20. That's no good.
I mean,
unless
We're
very
really
good.
good.
Yeah.
What's your hit dice?
So
I don't know what
Is
you're
it
doing.
away from the mic?
I'll explain
It's
to the
whatever.
audience.
See, we're at the top, in the middle, top right. It should say what yours is. It should be D8, I'd imagine.
Yeah,
For
I think
bards, yeah,
it's
it's a
just-
D8.
Wait, on this?
In the middle. So you've got your armor class, your hit points, and then your...
Oh, yes, I see it. I wrote it down.
So whatever that
Yes.
die is, that's
Yeah,
the one
yeah.
you roll for your health.
So every time adventurers level up, they get to add more health to their hit points total. Each class is slightly different. The
baby.
kind of more intellectual, weaker magic casters tend to have smaller
Oh.
dice numbers. Barbarians have the biggest, I think. At
Yeah,
D12.
D12.
Yeah.
But I only rolled a 6, so not great.
Well, I also rolled a 6, but on a D6.
It's the roll plus your con modifier.
Yeah.
Yes.
Plus con on. Yeah. So.
I rolled an 8.
Oh, good job. At 8.
Yeah, 8. I think the last time I rolled a 1, so I really needed that 8.
You've been upgraded to tank.
yeah.
Lucy, what did you roll?
I rolled 10
Out of a D8?
out of 3d8.
Oh, you
No,
don't
No.
Just roll 1D8.
Oh, it
Yeah,
says
yeah.
a 3d8.
That's at a short rest. You can use those hit dice.
You can
for-
pool
How
up 3
badly
up
do you
there.
think all of us had done?
I was really surprised because it was not good. Well, I just got
I was thinking like, yeah, plus your con modifier. That sounds about
Oh, I
right.
also,
Yeah.
I just realized I rolled 4. It's two twos. Okay.
So
Orla,
as-
buckle in. I'm the real dumb devil around here.
Okay, I watched the show.
Yeah,
That was meant to
Shazzy
sound nicer. Like, that was like a nice thing.
I did
yeah.
appreciate
Oh,
that.
I know.
Are you sure? Are you up to date on the lore and the story? That's not that. No, I've got.
I understand.
Well, I got a 1 then.
I think we do the kind of reroll ones because it's a bit shitty to get
Well,
one.
not Mercer rule of soundness.
Yeah.
She's not a halfling.
I got a 1 again. Can I still reroll?
No, you're stuck with it this time.
That's fair.
Yeah.
The universe says
But you add
no.
your con modifier, whatever
Yeah.
that is.
Your Constitution modifier.
Oh, plus 2.
So 3.
3.
3 extra hit
Yay.
points.
And I still have the less hit points from the nightmare, right? Those never
Yes,
came back.
yeah,
It wasn't,
yeah,
that
I
wasn't
got them back.
connected to your
No,
one.
no, you're right. It
wait,
kind of
I do-
reflects
wait, do I get
everything-
them back?
That works through.
No, you don't.
Oh, no,
have them
yeah,
back
yeah.
yet.
She doesn't shake it from leveling up now.
No. At least
Well, then
as
I
far as I
don't
don't
remember
know.
one.
I'll check
Well,
off
it's up to
stream.
you. I don't
I don't think so.
I think she gets a magic sword, but
Yeah, I agree.
I
We all get
appreciate
magic
that.
swords.
Okay. So you find magic swords. They're all magically
Can I-
cursed!
Can I have some magic sticks or something instead?
Nope.
I don't really use swords.
No, it's
Damn.
quite
Are you Batman? You just refuse to use swords.
Well, I don't really use swords.
You don't, yeah.
I mean, a
You are
magic stick
Batman.
isn't much better, but a magic stick would be fun as well.
a sword is technically a magic stick.
As much as
Sure.
I love fapping about for an entire episode before we introduce her with his character, the day is yours.
Yes.
So we see Bloody Hag in front of us. Which of our friends we freed Tuborg. I think I see.
Oh yeah, are the roots and all that jazz? Are they still?
So you're still in this sort of like the platform that this tree had created of interwoven branches had separated out into sort of a 3-tier layer, and the vines that the villagers in Tuborg were attached to, they were just kind of dangling down. On last episode, I said Arlington was dangling from a meat hook like thing. It was Tuborg. I just confused barbarians. That's
we get
so
that
they're
all
all
the
still dangling down from those sort of like vine packets.
So like a laundromat kind of thing.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it.
But what I mean is, it's not like deactivated now that she's dead. It doesn't seem to have been linked with her.
No, the tree's its own thing.
I guess we start pulling everyone down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably get rid of that.
So it comes apart pretty easy. It's like the tree itself was rotted, and actually now that you've gotten rid of this night hag, it seems like it's a slow process, but some life, and it being the other world, life moves at a different pace here. You can see the tree kind of getting new sprouts and creating these branches through as you break it away. So within time, these branches presumably will curl back outside and grow like a winter tree. But just the corruption of the night hag had sort of forced it inwards, where she was sucking the life force using that kind of green sticky bud. You tear them down easy enough. You see in front of you Tuborg.
As I pull him up, I'm doing the forearm clasps.
He's still unconscious.
I still clasp his forearm. It's like limply hanging down.
I mean, you probably sleep backflips, right? Or
There's-
Are
muscle
there enough
memory.
people that we might be able to carry them back the way we came? Or are there too many?
What about your bag of infinite carrying?
That would kill all of them.
No, it wouldn't, because you can breathe in there for 10 minutes, I believe.
And unconscious people are very good at just like
Chilling out.
chilling out.
I mean,
relaxing.
It only
Yeah.
felt like 1 minute to get to this tree, right? I mean, so that was probably fine.
True,
Probably
yeah, you never
lots
know
of
how long.
time.
Yeah. Although I don't know if Rian would know that you can. Was he told that by the goat?
The goat backed in butt first. He didn't put his head in the bag.
Okay,
So
right. So
the
I
only
probably
evidence
don't-
you'd have-
I probably don't know that yet.
Yeah.
And it might
Fair.
smell. They might wake up then. Might be like smelling salts.
There's 3 other villagers, and then there was one of the villagers you did separate out a small boy who was already kind of out, but he just kind of backed away during the fight itself. He's the only one who's conscious.
Oh, is there the little girl's
Was the hag,
sister?
and you killed her. Oh, the one
The
of
other
the
little
cores?
girl? Yeah.
No,
Not one of the cores?
no, not here.
Which cores were there?
Andrea, Caroline, and don't know.
Sharon
He is
was
sick.
back in the house.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're just pretending.
Sharon,
Alright.
Sharon, Sharon Core.
She's not here.
Ah. Okay.
I guess we just save everyone and leave.
I mean, I'll just say
Yeah.
keyboard. No. Yeah. So we try to wake them up. I mean, if only I had used this level to bother learning Dispel or Counter Magic or something, but I didn't.
I'm gonna throw 2 Borg over my shoulder and
Okay.
I reckon I could carry 2 people. So
Yeah,
I
you
could,
probably could.
I have my
Could
powerful
we-
build.
Wait, how long does it? I
Could
can
we
enlarge
enlarge
you.
Wes?
But I can carry.
yeah.
I can carry 2 people, and if I have space, well, how long does enlarge last again? An hour?
I'll check.
Yes.
I can put the little
10
boy
minutes?
on my
10 minutes?
back.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I think I'll just carry 2 people regular. We should probably
Yeah.
save spell slots.
I don't know.
it's-
I don't know that I have any spell slots, considering I used
Yeah,
a lot
I'll just
in
take
that
2
battle.
people on the reg.
You go to pick up one of these bodies, and it was one beside Tuborg, and what you notice about it is that it's like sort of shriveled in, as if the moisture has been taken out of it. It almost looks like a bog body. It's just being kind of preserved and mummified by the natural.
Does it seem dead? Can I check? I want to check. and see
Yeah,
if it's
like there's
breathing.
no like it looks as dead as a bug body, which is pretty dead.
Very dead.
Yeah.
Did you say
Um,
blog the first time?
Pardon?
Did you say blog body?
A blog body.
Very internet form of.
And I mean, this seems to have just expired. One of these villagers. And then as you kind of look around, one of the other one is also like that. There's only Tuborg and this sort of middle-aged, white-haired man who looks in any way like still preserved, but not preserved like Bob.
Yeah.
Alive,
Still,
yeah, you know.
still kind of vital and yeah.
And at that point, the
Just
6-year-old.
So some are emaciated and some are emancipated.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
good, yeah.
You know my lingo.
Yeah.
And that's when the 6-year-old kind of steps up to you, Iggy, as you go to put him on the back of your shoulders and goes,
Shit. She's stepping to Iggy.
Back off.
I'm Snake Cat. And I just
natural
put it on
enemy.
my back. Okay.
I did see a sort of substance escape from these guys, and it attached itself to the hag somehow.
How long have you been here?
7.
Dave, gotcha.
7 what?
Well, because Tuborg was quite recent. I mean, does this mean everyone else is
Well,
lost?
I mean, I do remember being quite muddled as we were coming here. Time seems to move a little oddly. Maybe 7 is a good increment.
Little boy, do you know what it was that was attaching itself to the hag, or could
It
you
seemed-
tell?
Every time she went to the bud, she would first take something from the people, and then take. She was killing them.
Can I roll something to know about the bud?
Yeah, roll a nature check.
Great. Oh. I'm not as crap as that.
And you would have advantage being a member of the Fina.
Great. That's
That's
what I
coming in
wanted.
super fucking.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
I mean, a wilderness campaign. Should have thought that through.
Okay, so advantage. Good. 14.
14 is just enough to assume that what you know of hags and what you see of the tree around you, she was using the tree as a way to siphon the life force from these people and then taking it into herself.
It's a very haggy thing to be using the old tree to siphon the life out of all these, but I haven't read the book on hags in the old Fianna library yet.
Is there? Do you think there's any way that they're still alive in the tree that we can? I mean, there must have been so many more villagers that were taken. There's so few here. Do you think they're all?
Well, there were a lot of people in the village too, weren't there?
But
we never
every
really saw
night,
that. Seemed full.
Every night someone was going. I wonder, is there anywhere like further into this tree that we can go?
Yeah, you could. The way the tree is, you can kind of see that it sort of spirals downwards into sort of an area towards the bottom.
Okay.
So you can make your way down that direction if you want.
We should probably get these the victims to safety first before we delve any deeper into this tree where time seems to move at a strange pace.
Well,
do you think we'll be able to come back?
I think they're fairly safe if the hag is gone. It seemed like the hag was the one causing the damage.
And maybe now Citra could come back. We can describe this to her, and she can come back with some sort of. I don't know if she knows how to get their souls back.
We drank all the barrel aged.
Did we? Did we drink it all?
Yeah, you did drink it all.
It was delicious.
Yeah.
It was actually literally delicious.
Yeah, it was great. I hope we come back to the Fae more often.
So, what do we think? Down or out? Not down and out, which is where I found
This is
myself.
an either-or situation.
It's very uncharted territory. The Fae is... I mean, the wilds are dangerous at the best of times, and now we're in the Fae wilds.
Agreed. This is all pretty much uncharted territory. Each more uncharted than the last.
Can I take out the axe of which his name I've completely forgotten?
The layer skull axe?
The layer skull axe.
Layer skull, yeah.
Yeah, I want to look at that and see if I can... Is it still... Like, can I get a lay of the land from that thing?
Yeah, so the sort of kind of... the carvings in on it, I believe... Did I describe them as kind of glowing in a very faint blue when you got here?
You said you were glowing. I seem to remember.
And
gold,
you can see that there is kind of little circle pockets on the
yes,
blade
we
itself.
did see that. There, yeah. These seem to be the points of power to get in and out of here.
Yes, that is correct.
So we'd come in through one of those.
You would come in and landed at one of those sort of marked safe fairy ring spaces.
Yeah, see, it's getting back in that I'm concerned with.
Because it took us 4 days to get the bits that...
Yes, it was quite a lot of work. And we don't know that there is more barrel-aged stout out there for us to...
Or Essence of the
Essence
Wild.
of the Wild, yeah.
Yes, that was also a tough one.
Yeah.
I mean, getting these people out is probably the highest priority, right? Who knows?
Can we actually carry all of them?
There isn't that many. Is there just 3?
There's 2.
There's 2 who are
dead.
unconscious and then the little
And the
boy.
little boy, yeah.
And the little boy goes, she was putting the substance into a sort of satchel, a sort of a gross handbag.
Can
Is
I
she still there?
investigate
The
the hag?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, you go over to the hag. And
definitely wanna
you
loot the hag.
make an investigation check.
Yeah, it's not good at that though. Whoa! Well,
You're
it
not
was
good at that.
Well, it was an 8, but it wasn't in the box. It was kind of an accident. Roll again. And it's an 8.
Yeah.
8's kind of like it's kind of all you need to shake this hag down. And you do find this like some sort of strange leather or vellum sort of bag on her.
So the hag has a bag.
She hag has a bag.
Okay.
Yeah. She got it in a crag.
Does the bag
From-
snag?
It does, but not as much as Mag.
She was a bit of a slag though.
She was.
Yeah.
We shouldn't speak ill
Stuck
of the
the
dead.
landing.
Dead snake dog.
So what I it's made of some leather or vellum. Okay, this seems weird, but I'd like to investigate that as well. I'd like to see.
Yeah, you open it up, and from inside, these sort of glowing white liquid plumes of smoke seem to escape. And there's 4 of them, and they sort of wisp their way towards the 4 unconscious bodies. The 2 that seem to go into the bog bodies, there's no reaction. And then as it enters into Tuborg and this other human man, they start awake. Hang on!
I was gonna ask if I had to play keyboard. I was like, God, no, if I remember the voice well.
I don't.
I would have loved it without missing a beat. You immediately went
Yeah.
wow.
Surprise.
What the fuck's going on?
Tuborg!
My friend, it's good to see you alive and well.
We saved you.
Arlington.
Sorry.
We haven't found any more of your dragon kin.
No, they wouldn't have come here. I was the one coming here to get poofed. I was trying to get away from them.
Oh, I thought...
Have
Have you found the others in the cave?
What others in the cave?
What cave?
The cave the little girl was telling us about.
Go on.
No.
Tuborg, God bless your memory.
He wasn't even in the house. He was very famously backflipping at the
Got
time.
up afterwards.
No, I was there. We could hear it from inside the house. He was paying more attention than I was.
In between backflips. you listen.
It's so
I don't
handy.
think you hear so well. You're
Yeah.
pulling the audio in. It was sort of.
Sort of a speed.
It shakes all the blood to your brain, which exaggerates
Sound
your
always
hearing.
moves in spirals, so when you're backflipping, you actually hear it. You hear it for longer.
I'm almost certain you said that you told Arlington and Tuborg everything when you came.
Probably did.
100%.
Almost certain.
I'm almost certain.
That's why I remember too.
He definitely wouldn't have forgotten it.
No, we haven't found those girls in the cave. Those people in the cave. I don't know if she specified gender.
So, the Hag's Cave, the lair, and she'd take us.
I thought this was the lair.
This is a tree.
It's a bit cave. It's a bit cave-like.
This is probably, we're not used to adventures this large. What kind of new at this? I don't know.
I'd call it cavernous.
You don't say. And Tuborg does just kind of, without missing a beat, lead you out of the tree, and without stepping off any sort of path into a sort of. It's not to your point. It's not as cave-like as the girl described. More like a.
Or as that tree we were just in.
Or the tree you were just in.
Which is
Very
very
conscious.
cave-like.
Yeah. It was almost as if I forgot there was other people who went missing, and I need to invent another location for them to be.
Look, we're all mad at the game.
Shouldn't have asked about them cores.
But it is more of kind of a mossy, shambling, just mound-like space at the bottom of the tree. And inside you do find.
Wait, so the cave's in the tree.
Pardon?
The cave's just at the bottom of the tree.
Yeah, it's just sort of like this, like shrubbery, grotesque, like corrupted
in the roots.
bush.
Aye, nice distinction there, Tuborg.
Wait till you get
Thank
inside.
God you were here.
I think the next time we have Heber back on, we should update his nameplate to say Tuborg, human plot device. What do you think we should do?
And inside you find 15 just kind of a bunch of misfitted villagers. And you also come across, as you investigate this lair, a couple of kind of strange hag-like items. And there's scraps of bloody parchment.
Warts.
A couple of warts.
Broomstick.
Yeah. There's a small 6x6 inch painting of McKellar. And when you look at it, there's like a tiny little figure that's just walking through the streets.
Actually moving?
Like
Yeah.
Marauders map style.
Yeah.
You should maybe take
Ignatius,
this.
what do you think of this painting? This seems like more your area of
Can I
expertise.
inspect it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see a tiny little figure moving through the streets.
Okay. Does it look like a little hag?
No.
Does it look like? Does it? Can I tell what? Is it a human little form or?
Make a perception check.
Sure. 11.
Now, painting's kind of Iggy's thing. Do you reckon she could get advantage of it?
Backseat DMing.
I'm helping out my buddy.
No.
Fair enough.
It's standing on two legs. Seems to be wearing a tiny hat,
Oh.
but that's because it's also tiny.
So you
A
mean
regular
it,
size hat
It doesn't
for
seem
it,
like
but
it's a
to
regular
you, a
size.
tiny
hat.
hat, yeah.
Thank you for clarifying.
Oh, disappointing. I thought we were going to find race day at the
Or a wedding.
I could do with a wee hat.
It's my son's
Can I-
day.
Can I take that with us?
You can have it,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Painting. Is it 6 foot?
You find
wait, how big is it? Did you say?
it's like 6x6 inches.
Oh, 6 by 6
Yeah.
inches.
The hat. How big is that?
Yeah, let's get. I'm right.
We are fascinated.
Maybe it'll fit in my tiny bowl.
Would I be able to do an Arcana check to see if I've ever seen a moving painting before?
Sure.
17.
Nice.
Not that you know of.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah.
You are a guy.
You've heard of like you've seen Iggy cast magic through her slate board.
So I know it's magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should have given her a skateboard. That would have been way cooler for magic. Just give her a slate board.
On weekends, my name is Skate Dog.
Your movement speed is 20, but your skating speed is 50.
Yeah. Just wait until you have to get away from the McKellar bullies. Grab onto the back of a cart.
Okay, so we got, what was it, a painting? Bloody parchment?
Bloody parchment, if you want it.
I'm just curious.
Sure.
Yeah.
Can we,
Um,
is it literally
can
just
I
blood
try to
on
read
blank
the bloody
parchment?
No, you can. Yeah, if you want to. Do you
Yeah, I
want
want
to
to try and read what it says.
Okay.
read?
Make an straight intelligence. I think
Ah.
Yes, I've got this under control.
it's in common, so you
It's not gonna help.
A normal person could read it.
Natural 20 though.
And that's very good. Can Arlington read?
He's
Yes,
got
big
yes,
these big
yes.
book of books.
Yeah,
Yes.
but we don't know if he can read.
No,
it.
yes, I can read. I can read and I speak Common, Goblin, and Orc.
Oh, great. On it seems to be pertaining to some sort of catastrophic shattering called the strife.
Glad I could read that.
Yeah.
Strife.
1 becomes 10. Greed of humanity. Sort of rifts and corruption banished to the long way round. You can't really make a lot of sense of it. It just seems
So
to be.
glad we record this show. I have to look back on this.
Have I ever heard of the strife? Is it a Fianna thing that they would know about?
Make a history check.
Oh, great. That's not going to work well. No.
Should have brought a wizard.
I'm basically a wizard.
You're charming, not
Says
smart.
every sorcerer
6.
ever.
Six.
No, you've never heard of it.
Look,
You
want
also
someone
come
who's
across
smart and
a
also charming.
jar of icky, sort of translucent jelly, and inside there's like a hand with like hair on its palm.
Okay.
We should take that
I'd
to
like
maybe
to take
show
that.
Sam.
yeah, definitely take that.
I don't know if Rian's ever
You
heard
got
of
the-
a monkey's paw, but I definitely have.
You got the gems.
Only end well.
There's a small black cauldron with a tiny little ladle. It's yours if you want it.
Anything in it?
No, thank you.
You look in, and you start to see sunspots in your vision.
Ooh.
And
That sounds like a good
suddenly,
sign.
Uh-oh.
I die.
you find
You're
yourself like eating a lamb shank, sitting on a wall. You're huge, and like there's a fortress city in front of you. And then you just shake, and you're back to being Iggy.
Ooh.
What happened?
It was great. It was a beautiful lamb shank. We haven't eaten for ages.
This says so much more about Iggy's self-esteem.
Yeah.
Like, this obviously represents me. I'm the food.
No, it was delicious. I was sitting. No, wait, what was I?
You were just sitting on a giant
fortress.
wall.
Was it anywhere I'd been before? Was it McKellar?
No, it wasn't McKellar.
It wasn't somewhere I recognised.
No, where you recognise.
Okay, I was just outside a fortress or something, but I was really big, bigger than you. But get your head in there.
I
so
might
you-
play tricks on it sometimes.
Can I show the cauldron to shove it in their face?
Oh,
I'd like to have a peek.
Yeah, I'd look into it as well.
Okay.
Well, it seemed fun.
Who's rolling dice? That's always bad.
Your experience is that you peek in, and you find yourself surrounded by like 3 other large creatures. They seem to be the same size as you. You've got a gigantic beard, and you're holding like what would look like a normal human skull, and it's full of ale, and you're just like drinking it down and laughing. Someone's made a joke, and then you're there holding a small, to you, child. And then you're dusting off your hands and looking at what is an amazing city, which you've had a hand in building. And then you're back out.
Does anything, like, I mean, so I'm huge. Is that because things that would be normal, like, you know, furniture, does that seem small by comparison? Or do I just feel that I'm large and everything is to scale with me?
No, like everything you've had a hand in building is quite small.
Okay. How much small? Like, how much smaller? Like, do I feel like I'm like maybe 20 feet tall? Or am I just like...
Yeah, you're close to like...
Okay.
Give me a go.
You all have a look in, you all have a hard time. Anyway.
I think that we should take this cauldron to the goat to figure out what the hell is going
Yes,
on with it.
I believe the goat would have an interest in pretty much all of these, to be honest with you.
Let's take them all.
Let's go.
Let's just
In
You
the
find
back they
yourself,
go.
What about
to
this
quickly go through
stone?
everything else,
Yeah.
you find a pack of coloured chalk, some bone meal flour, 4
Try to
swan
chalk.
feathers that seem to be stuck together, and a long, slightly mossy stick wand. It's that
Bags.
texture of like, you know, those like sticky buckets that stick to your back of your...
Yes.
If you
Oh,
go
cool.
like, you go tumbling down a hill as a child,
Yes.
it's that kind of texture.
Ah, yeah.
Okay. Does
Alright.
it...
I definitely take
Is
the
there a
stick.
hum of magic off that?
I don't know if you'd know that.
Four goose feathers?
Don't...
4
Swan
swan
feathers?
feathers.
Swan.
Can
Stuck
I
together.
take the chalks?
You can have the chalk.
Can I like just pick up one and like just really quickly just like draw a line on my slate and see
Yeah,
if
what do you
anything
want
happens?
to do with it?
I just want to see if it reacts any differently to my own chalks and stuff.
What colour do you pick?
I pick purple.
You see a purple line across your slate.
Ooh! I give an
they
actual
work.
Would have been cool if it was
round of
green.
applause.
Yeah. I still take them anyway.
Yeah.
You know, 'cause can't have enough of this.
Ignatius, would you mind taking a look at this large stick thing? I can't make head nor tail
That's
of
fine,
it.
myself. Oh.
Which stick?
The large stick with the sticky things on it. It's a sticky
Oh
stick.
yeah, can I
The mossy
can-
stick.
can
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I want that mossy stick.
investigate that? See if
You
there's
can
any
investigate
magic in it.
You would have to make an Arcana check, not an investigation check.
Okay.
The magic lady.
Oh, that's a 2.
Seems like a stick.
wow, I can hear the woods in this.
Oh, Iggy, you've got a bit stuck to the side of your face there.
Oh, yes. Oh,
And it
that's
did. You
yeah.
kind of take it off and it goes.
Yeah.
And
That was a really gross sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, how did you
Yeah.
know that?
I'm
Impressive
terrible at
sound.
accents. Great at Foley.
Also, the glugging at the start of the episode.
That was
top,
also
Yeah,
top
really
tier
good. I
glugging.
didn't want to interrupt
I
you.
literally,
It was
my
really
notes
good.
are take more notes and great drinking sounds.
Nothing like looking like you're writing when you're take more notes.
Now we know.
I'm a professional.
These are notes.
Ooh. Sorry, this
Delicious,
beer
huh?
that Keelan so kindly gave me, the rhubarb and ginger sour, is delicious and interesting.
Okay, fine. You
No,
and I
I'm a big
don't seem to
fan.
agree-
It's just
yeah.
it's not a flavor I was expecting, and I forgot what I was
I
drinking.
mean,
I
it's
try
literally
it?
called rhubarb and ginger. It should be the flavor you're expecting.
I know, but I'd forgotten which one it was. I opened it with I think it's Kinnegar.
That sounds crazy.
For the
Or
purpose
Walla
of brevity,
Walla.
you make your way towards one of those circles on the Lair's Galax.
Yes.
And what you see is like a small little. It seems to be directing you towards this like little triangle gap in the bottom of a tree, and immediately the 6-year-old is just like blasted through there.
Okay.
He's just like run straight in, and followed by that silver-haired man.
Wait.
He's
Yeah,
going
I'm
whoa,
gonna-
whoa, whoa,
I'm
wait,
gonna-
wait, because he
Well,
knows
yeah.
it's dangerous, and all the villagers just seem to go straight through that hole in the tree.
Yeah.
Even if they don't fit.
Even though they don't fit. The only person who doesn't go is Tuborg. And he goes, actually, lads, I was thinking of staying here.
You want to stay here?
Have you seen this place?
Yes,
It's gas.
it's terrifying.
It's not that. Look at that tree. And you see a tree just kind of go, as if it's listening. He goes, that tree's gas.
Tuborg, it's very clear that you're very happy here, but what about life on the outside? What about everything? What about us?
Hang on, wait, I'm gonna grab 2 trees out of side of me and start shaking. Say that again.
Tuborg, we're basically a family. Come with us. Have Ben do the voice.
Before I met you guys, I was sleeping in children's beds. Making my way to McKellar.
Has to be a better way for you to explain that.
Nope, you were there. You need no context. And he's pretty adamant that he's just like, I'm happy here.
Well, is it clear the way that we're getting out, is that always there? That's not created from our spell. Is it just that we can't come back? But those little circly bits, is that like...
We didn't do anything to open that gateway.
No.
It was just there.
The gate, yeah.
Yeah. It was like it's like if you're picturing the Alice in Wonderland cranny she crawls through at the
Yes,
beginning of that
yeah,
movie.
yeah.
That's what it is.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I just like stay here as long as you need, but come through there anytime, and ask where we've gone and come.
He's
find
already
us.
walking away.
Oh.
Anytime I hear the wind blow, I'll hear the name.
Yeah, my eyes were already closed as I was saying it, so I missed him walking away.
And we go through the cranny, I suppose.
Tuborg, no.
Which
He was the best backflipper I ever challenged.
you find yourselves coming out of a burrow on the outskirts of McKellar, and I need everyone to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, no good at that.
I'm bad at them.
Did you say charisma saving?
Roll a d20 as
Wisdom,
well.
I think.
I'm giving you
16,
a challenge
man.
too.
Ooh. Oh, really bad.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's
yeah.
see what happens.
That's
Anyone here
exceptionally
good at
bad.
wisdom?
I've got a
Me?
+2.
Do I get to add my wisdom to it?
No, I'm just looking for the
It's a
d20.
savings throw, though, so if you're proficient in it, you get that.
Or am I just a straight roll, or do I have
Straight
to
roll, yeah.
Oh. Just a
I mean, if
seven
only I'd
then.
rolled a 1, I could have re-rolled.
Did you roll a 2?
This is worse. Now I rolled a 4.
Okay.
What was everyone's?
18.
Okay,
16.
okay.
4.
You okay?
8.
And you said you were bad?
Iggy, something's happening as you come out of this. It's as if like your memory's getting a little bit fuzzy. You're trying to remember where you were, and then you're like, oh no, I know exactly where I was. That makes total sense to me. I was just in the other world.
Oh no.
Huck, you've no idea
Uh,
what has happened.
It's
You
the
just
only
find
thing
yourself
he's
at the
ever
base of
wanted
the
to
tree.
know.
What gone wild?
This is going to be the worst.
And again, your memory's a little bit hazy, but then you grasp onto certain details.
Wait, sorry. As in, Huck's forgotten he has friends?
No. He's just forgotten where he's come
This
from.
will be the cruelest twist.
No, I didn't roll a 1.
Who are
he
you
has-
people?
He's just forgotten where he's come from.
Okay.
Who are you, dickheads? Change personality entirely.
It's all been a facade.
yeah.
And you also remember. And I'm using, just for
Great.
anyone out there, a homebrewed set of time warp rules,
Okay.
which is a lot of fun.
Can I say?
So-
Let's do
Oh.
the time warp.
Again.
You could if you could remember why you
Damn
wanted
it!
to do it. And so you find yourself on the outskirts of McKellar, and as you walk into the village, it's like the road that you'd taken to Bigfoot seems far more completed than you ever expected it to be.
Oh.
Which is like, and it's busy here now.
Yeah.
And as you make your way in, like, as you pass people, they're looking at you strangely. Is it like they kind of recognize you, but they don't know from where? And
sorry, just to say, as we were approaching civilization, I would have put my hood and mask back up. No.
yeah, they're even going like, hood and mask guy. Where do I know that guy from?
Can we see the other villagers ahead of us, or were they went through the cranny before us? So
Yeah,
they're not anywhere like running ahead or anything. No.
Yeah, you don't see them.
What happened, lads?
My friend, could we just take a step over to the side away from any crowded people?
A wee second ago.
Yeah.
There
well,
wasn't any of this. We went to a tree.
I'm starting to suspect. Do you remember when we were travelling to that large tree and time seemed a bit like iggledy-swiggly?
I do.
I remember going to the stone circle with Citra and drinking that fierce beer.
That was a long time ago.
It seems like it was.
No, that was about 5 seconds ago.
I was really hoping we'd see those people we rescued, reuniting with their very grateful families. My heart would have enjoyed that.
As an
I
aside,
think.
Ben,
Yes.
I forgot that Huck, while no one else was paying attention, invested a lot of money in a bank. Very quickly.
I remember that. You said that to me as part of your backstory.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And if
Yeah.
time has passed, it might be
I also
It's a
just
shame
mentioned
that they had
that-
to bail out the banks here in Hibernia. Oh, your money's gone. You should have invested in prize bonds.
Yeah, damn. He invested in things that just take time to... bonds, a lot of bonds.
You invested in that fruit company, Apple.
He's very financially savvy, that...
I can tell from how you play your character.
doesn't even remember he has money.
I'd like to go looking for Citra.
Cool.
So I head to the bar side.
Sure, and you walk through the gates of McKellar, and a strange sight sort of greets you. There's like a statue there that wasn't there before, and it seems to be of 5 people, and like 2 of them are quite small. One of them's, medium humanoid height, and then there's some sort of dragonborn creature and a man with a hood and a mask.
Okay. That
And there's,
wasn't
like,
here before.
A plaque at the bottom, but it hasn't been inscribed.
Well, I mean, that's just lazy masonry.
We'll never know now.
Who are these handsome heroes?
Iggy, you notice someone has like pegged off away from you guys.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Just sort of in the direction of where you actually went into the other world for the first place.
Okay.
Over towards where the mayor's house was.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. I mean, the town is looking so much better. It's all bustling and like it's.
Yeah.
I mean,
We did well.
I'd like to stop a villager near and ask them, "What? Excuse me. When was that statue built? When?"
And you stop another halfling. Has a kind of a very soft, like chin, little curly hair, and he pulls back his cloak and goes, "The statue? Well, it was here before I got here, and I only got here maybe a week ago. I'm a merchant on my way to the market."
Tell me.
The market, you say?
Yeah, the market in the center of the town. It was closed for a while the town was going through something, I think, but it's now back open.
Do you
I
know
think
how
you
long the
just failed
market's
to
been
find it.
open?
The market reopened about 2 months ago.
2 months, you say?
Interesting.
That is interesting. Do you recall any sort of crises in this village? People missing or anything like that?
Yes, that's why they built this statue. There was up until these 5 travelers came, people were going missing in this town, and they came and they were the last to disappear. And we think, at least rumor has it, that they were the ones who stopped the disappearances.
And this was about 2 months ago that they disappeared.
2 months ago, and the villagers who came back then, they were the ones who provided the description of the 5 adventurers who had saved them.
Oh my god, that was us! Oh my god! Oh my god! Guys!
Oh, it's hard to know where the line between Lucy and Iggy ends.
Same.
I didn't ken what you're talking about.
And at that moment, Oscar Monk kind of walks up to you guys, not really. He's like very confused. He's like, "My God, you're back."
How long have you been gone?
Well, the villagers returned, and that was about 2 months ago. We didn't think you were coming back.
We
heard that you were. They were saying that you were staying there.
One of us was, and we came through the portal maybe 30 seconds after the villagers. There's no way that it was 2 months. We came immediately after them, I would say.
And I sidle up to Ryan and be like, what are you talking about? Why are you lying to them?
Classic Rian.
Is this another lie?
I'll explain later.
We felt we had to patrol the local areas and try and make sure that whatever had happened wouldn't happen again. We didn't mean to alarm anyone.
I'm gonna wink at the rest of the party and be like,
Yes.
Because there's no need to overcomplicate a situation like this.
No. We just made sure that everyone was safe and that wouldn't happen again.
That's what heroes do.
Yes.
You guys can't handle your booze, can you?
Huck got a knock on the head.
Well, I'm glad you're back because we've been meaning to inscribe this statue. What should we call you?
Oh.
Huck's friends.
I'll go along with that.
Huck and his band of friends.
And his merry men. Huck and his merry men.
Huck and his merry men.
I mean, yeah, sure. Okay, Huck and his merry men.
Oh, crap, I'm going to be in the leader position.
Because otherwise, you could use a beer if you wanted to use a beer.
Oh, yeah.
But it is a huge opportunity for anyone out there to be this party's first name.
I mean, I have just brewmasters. We could be the brewmasters. That's a bit.
I mean,
Lemsip.
I have not really. Brother. That's not bad.
Other options: Punk AF.
Oh, God, no.
That's
pretty good.
Okay.
I've got High Glen.
I think someone might be trapped in a factory trying to reach out to their mate and let them know they're stuck in there.
High Glen.
There's a smaller print.
Other
Help me.
options are hybrid.
Walla Walla.
Punk.
Yeah, there's the Walla Walla. I do really like Punk AF.
I mean,
Punk
Punk AF. Yeah, that's a good name.
Huck's friends. Also
I like
known
Huck and the
as
merry.
Punk AF.
Punk AF. Yeah, Punk AF.
Or
A statue just saying
Huck and his
AF.
punks.
Huck,
Yeah. The Huck Punks.
Huck's Punks.
Huck and his punks.
They Punk AF. And that's you kind of you picture it because he's not going to do it straight away. But you know it's going to say Huck's Punks.
Oh, I can use
Brackets,
prestidigitation.
italics.
I can use
They hook
prestidigitation to
They
put
hook
it on it.
They Punk AF.
Ooh, Huck's punks. That's really hard to say. Yeah.
I immediately-
That's what every good adventuring party needs. Something that's hard to actually explain to someone
It
else.
sounds like a monk. Huck's punks.
Yeah. Oh, it sounds like yeah.
Just clearing your throat.
Yeah.
What do you call it?
Hucks, punks.
Huck's punks.
They're full of chutzpah.
The problem is the spunks that ends up being in the middle of that.
Not mad about it.
Huck's punk.
Let's either go with Huck's band of
Huck's
friends
Spunk,
or
it is.
Spunk. Yeah. We got it.
Huck's Spunk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this is going to be a problem.
Perfect.
That honestly makes it perfect.
I'm going to prestidigitate Huck's
Huck's Punk.
punks.
Yep.
God.
They Punk AF.
Punk
I mean, I can already see the graffiti that's going to happen to
onto
this
the thing.
statue.
It'll only last for a short period of
You
time,
don't
but at least
actually
it'll be
need to
there.
graffiti it. It's already.
They've just drawn over the apostrophe. That's all that's happened.
Not to be mean, but we didn't have a reward for you. But you also look terrible, and for the first time you realize.
Wow. But, that was a real 1-2 punch. 1, no reward. 2, you look terrible.
End of sentence. He turns away.
Anything to say about the smell, or?
I mean, Rian's mother is kind of sick. Would you like to take a stab at that?
Prestidigitate not smelling.
Peppermint fills the air.
And billowy cloak to look heroic.
But if we could thank you in any way, we could probably get you some new clothes, some new armor. We could embell
Actually,
Huck's Punks on the back of your cloaks.
is rhinestoning a thing here? It's sort of like small bits of metal punched into a piece of cow
Great
skin.
question.
Like
What?
bedazzling something?
Yeah, so you do it.
Next up, bedazzling. Tiny bits of
Do you
metal.
do pajazzling? Sort of
Could
like.
be worse. Could be vajazzling.
Yeah, I was going for the.
Well, that's what I meant to say. That's what I meant to say. But yeah, that's what it's called, not bedazzling. Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Bedazzling.
That's what I meant to say, vajazzling.
Is that like when
That is
you've
the-
got like a
yeah.
Swarovski bra?
Oh, I just thought it's like diamonds on your bits.
No,
Yeah,
when
no.
But yeah,
same thing for
Yeah, that's
butt
what
dazzling.
I
I know
yeah.
what butt dazzling.
Oh
No.
yeah, but yeah.
when you're bujazzled, it's you're confounded by someone's.
Whoa! Or
Ah,
bedazzled, yeah.
I was bejazzled there.
Which you would be by someone
No,
putting
like,
diamonds
yeah,
on their
you
vagina.
get home with someone and you're like, whoa!
yeah.
Especially if it spells out hunks punks.
It's
I
like
mean,
a
I'd high
disco
five
ball
them
in
straight
there.
away.
Some new clothes would be lovely.
Let me talk to Stiegler. He might be able to whip something up. He's been booming in business, really, actually.
Is this a changing room montage? Coming up.
And he sorts you out with some brand new armor.
Excellent.
Brand new. So just everything you're wearing. I don't think anyone has any magical armor.
No,
So it's just, yeah, it was kind of worn and
You don't have your
torn.
cloak anymore, so no.
Look, this is why I wear all black. It's because I always spill.
And you find yourselves back in the bar sign. Citra is gone. You do a little bit of investigating. Landfallon.
Whoa! Oh no!
Big tiki explosion.
God.
Hooks punks.
So,
Okay.
when you can't see the inside of a glass, you have very little idea as to the level of froth.
My mother used to say that.
It's an old Irish saying. I don't remember the actual Irish, but you know.
You do a little bit of investigating. Landfallon was here. He stayed for a while investigating the local area, and then
Oh, the guy we were supposed to meet.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
We were meant to meet again.
What are we like 2
yeah.
years late for that?
just 2 months.
Wait, I thought
Angel-looking
the
man.
villagers came back 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the deer guy.
So the villagers seem to have come back like.
So they came back right after we went. Like, as in we went in, and then the
you
villagers came back
in,
immediately.
Villagers came out, and
Oh.
I want to start spinning around very confusedly in like the town center, and then if any like random town goers ask what's wrong, I'm going to look distraught and say, I had a date.
yeah. I'm sorry
I mean,
about
it's
that.
very not in character, but if I was a different character, could I laugh?
One of the villagers goes.
Perfect.
Actually,
Perfect.
that happened to me on our show too.
Really?
Yeah, really similar.
Oh, we're stealing from two things.
I didn't actually think of it till you said that.
Every idea's been done.
What you do learn about Landfallon from Peach is that he left in the middle of the night, just a few weeks back, and he was urgently making his way towards Street. And Orla, as you're sitting in the bar sign,
Yeah.
you hear all the commotion of these 4 strangers coming in.
I hate commotion.
Well, this will
Something
be
I hate
fun.
more than commotion than strangers.
And what your character tweaks is that you're making your way to Driggs, and a band of adventures just like this could be the extra protection you need.
Although we do seem quite obnoxious.
Yeah.
And you're not even backflipping yet.
Looking around like, oh, gotta do some weighing on that one.
Be great if she chooses not to hang out.
I'm just gonna go.
I've just been sitting here, now I'm just gonna go.
It'd be a short episode, but it would be the right thing to do.
We're like the characters of Seinfeld, stuck arguing while she just walks out.
It's one of those episodes where we'll cut in like a one shot with me and Orla and all the things she was up to as you guys made your way around the town.
Like a flashback episode.
Yeah.
It's just.
I'm happy that you guys think that part 2 would be you staying. And
Yeah.
like, right, you guys go.
Gosh,
This is
yeah,
a way of
no,
saying
this
we're
is
taking the show in a different
really
direction.
awkward. But,
We're fusing Dublin and Dragons and Homebrew, and we're cutting a lot of the fat.
Yeah.
Which is actually just Homebrew.
We're gonna rock it through
Ben
some
and
actual
Orla.
story.
we actually
my
just
house
hired
still.
Ben.
I wanted to tell you live on stream because these guys launched like just a week before us. And I was like, damn, that's the show I want to be on.
It's those 7 days they make all the difference.
Episode one of season 2 of Dublin Dragons is 8 people crammed onto cameras. We had no place else to go.
Just nonsense.
Bring
galore.
us your huddled players.
Um,
Alright, so I'm at the bar.
You're at the bar.
That's
These
fair.
guys walk in and they're talking to Peach, and they seem to be learning a lot about this character called Landfallon. Yeah, I don't think you've heard of him,
Nah, that's not right. Damn.
but they do seem keen on getting to Dreet. So what did they, if they were to look your direction, what would they say?
Yeah, well.
So, sitting in the quietest corner, trying not to attract too much attention, is a Firbolg woman who's about 7.5 feet tall. She's got kind of blue, slightly furry skin. Like it's like a little soft little fur, like a rabbit.
Peach
you know,
fuzz.
but yeah, peach fuzz type thing, but like kind of mid blue, and these like big kind of floppy ears, and then like red hair,
I like it.
in like plaid pigtails, and is
Samesies.
wearing. Yeah, I didn't think of that till afterwards. But when I looked at the thing, I was like, actually, it's the same.
Yeah.
But then I'd already done
Twinning.
it.
I mean, it's a medieval Irish, you know.
Yeah.
How many
It
hairstyles?
was like the
got
one
red
hairstyle I
plaits.
thought.
That's it.
How many hairstyles are there, really?
It's red plaits all the way down.
You can't be an adventurer and have loose hair. That would be
It's
mental.
like
That's
you
fair,
get
yeah.
caught and stuff.
Yeah,
all the
I mean,
time.
to be honest, before Huck got his haircut, it was all plaits, you know.
Yeah, flats all the way down. Yeah.
But I'm sitting in just like some kind of like fisherman's clothes, basically. Yeah.
Classic D&D.
Fisherman.
And most importantly, leaning against the back of her chair is a fishing rod.
And it's at that moment that
wow.
Peach goes and turns to you, and you see Orla's character's name for the first time spelt out in front of you, which is...
Quail.
weren't you saying you were trying to make it to Driacht? If you guys need a lift to catch Lanfalon, you should team up with her. And that's where we'll take our break.
Couldn't be happier with that reaction.
My character is so confused.
I imagine that's what you said as soon as you entered the bar. Like your mustache twitches. Fisherman.
Which in a village of fishermen. This one's new.
By no way intentional.
Yeah, genuinely. It was like myself and Orla have been messaging, and before your hatred of
Before
fishermen
the
came
fisherman
out.
thing came in,
Yeah.
and then I was like, no, this is better actually.
Yeah,
This is
it's
better.
It's perfect to have picked a fisherman. I've been really curious as to why he hates fishermen
I
so much.
cannot wait to find
So
out.
you're a fisherman. He hates. You're taller than me, which Arlington is going to be super thrilled about. You have
Yeah.
the same hairstyle as he.
I'm gonna love that.
We're gonna be fast friends.
And I think fishermen were mentioned in the last episode, and you didn't get angry about it. While we were really drunk
No, it was
fighting
dock
a hag.
workers he didn't care about.
No,
Yeah,
not
no,
if it
it's
was
just
dock
it's
workers.
just those on the sea.
There was
Well, dock workers at
definitely
unionized,
a
so.
differentiation where there was like people working around a boat, but the ones that went out and caught fish, you had a specific problem with.
Because you were fine with Captain Cutor
Yeah, that was
from our pre-session games. Because
Yes.
he was a captain of a boat.
Sorry,
I forgot about
sorry.
Cute Whore.
I actually had forgotten this. What was his name?
Captain Cutor.
Sorry, this was pre-recording, so yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So I was like, I don't remember
maybe
this.
one of the first characters that ever
we were
got named.
Although it also was recorded, but it just wasn't.
Oh,
yeah,
the audio.
Just
Yeah,
not,
yeah.
just
we
not
have
well.
all that sweet evidence.
Yeah, it was in Wes's house. It was in your house.
Yeah.
It was like nearly a year ago, or less than a year, or
Around-
more than a year
around
ago.
about a year.
More
Yeah.
than a year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll be back in about 15 minutes. In the meantime, do check us out on the social channels. Do check out Dublin and Dragons. And if you haven't subscribed or followed us, do so to be in with a chance to win Devil's Gumdrops. They glow in the dark.
And
For all
also
those
the
times-
dice, not just Pence Crush.
Something close.
We'll be right back.
But we'll take anything. Let's not rule it out. You're a whore.
We do videos every Tuesday and Thursday. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and feel free to leave a comment down below. So, Marvel versus Star Wars.
With the announcements of all the Marvel films and TV shows, we looked at the announcements for all the Star Wars stuff, and we've got one movie coming out, obviously Episode 9.
Yeah.
And we also have two
Yeah, it's 2 Disney Plus Star Wars shows. So there's The Mandalorian, which trailer looks pretty damn good for me.
I did enjoy the trailer, yeah.
Yeah, we actually haven't got to talk about the trailer yet, so we might have to do a separate video on that. It's a really good trailer.
It's a really good one, yeah.
And they also announced Obi-Wan with Ewan McGregor. So Ewan will be back as good old Ben Kenobi.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Hello there.
Yeah, so who's the favourite child in the House of Mouse?
Yeah.
Well, okay, I'm gonna take the first stab at this. My concern, sorry, I'll talk into the microphone now and again. My concern would be that because Star Wars is a long-term, it's the biggest franchise in the history of time, until recently.
Yeah.
And the one it's competing with in the Disney household, Marvel, is the franchise trendsetter. It took 40 years, give or take, to make, 9, 11 if you include Rogue One and Star Wars, or Solo. Nobody should include Solo. So you make less than a dozen Star Wars movies over that period of time. Your fan base is getting older. You've been picking people up again along the way. I get it. Star Wars hasn't exactly been shrinking, but it's not the same as 10 years, 20 movies, mass hysteria, Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
So is Star Wars, just by the nature of its long-term thinking and its long-term growth, is it losing out in that fight if you're a Disney exec going, which one of these is going to make me most money during my career? Because Star Wars is a much longer bet. It's a much longer game.
Yeah. And then on the other side to that, which is what I think, is Star Wars actually the favourite, and they're taking their time with each part? Like, is it that they don't want to make 20 films in 10 years?
Yeah.
That they want to make, maybe half that in the 20 years, like, or in the 10 years kind of thing. So, like, because my examples are with the Solo film coming out, and it was not well received.
Quite rightly, I think.
What do you think? Well, what do you know?
That the termination of essentially a whole other bunch of films happened, and the clearing of house of the writers and directors and stuff. So is it the fact that the LucasArts executives and Disney executives are just like, let's take our time with this one?
I really hope that's it.
Yeah.
I really do hope that's it. But there are things, and this is the thing, I'm talking about this from my fears rather than my hopes, because I want Star Wars to exist for a very long time. But I also actually like the idea that it will take a very long time for it to exist. I like the idea of a patient slow burn. Mm-hmm. In fact, I was kind of against things like Rogue One and Solo and all that. I thought it's a little too soon to start filling all the gaps and trying to have a Star Wars film every 2 years, because we'd had such a long time for the originals. Yeah, 6, which there was only 3 sometimes. But if they're going to continue with Star Wars, which they are, they're going to have, after episode 9, they're going to have to start a new trilogy. Yeah. And they're not going to be able to look back and rely the same way they have now. They're going to have to use the universe, not the things that were in it. They're no longer going to be able to just go back to Vader. They're no longer going to be able to use Skywalker over and over again. So they're going to have to go a new direction in some way in the same universe. That's ultimately possible. But will anybody actually want to let them do that in Disney? Will they be like, well, we'd like you to hurry up and do that now, because see the way Marvel are doing it over here, where they make us like $7 billion a year with $7 billion movies? You guys are making $1 billion movie every 7 years. Guys, come on, up the productivity, up the output. That's what's scaring me.
Yeah, no, I definitely get your point. From a business standpoint, having the slower franchise, take up time and effort and resources and not give as much of a payout kind of thing is not a great business sense. But is it the kind of twofold? Is it the fact that they haven't found the formula which they found with the Marvel films?
Oh, very
and they're
much
trying
so, yeah.
out stuff, or is it that it is just something there that's like, is it that they have one powerful executive who grew up with the Star Wars franchise and has been,
is it like, Kathleen Kennedy looking after it? Maybe, yeah.
Very, very taking a full on stance against any kind of especially after the Solo. Is there a meeting there when someone went, the Solo film, and she went, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if we should make this film. And then someone went, well, we're going to overrule you. And she went, you're going to find out that you were wrong. Yeah. And then they were wrong.
It's it's infinitely possible. It's very, very likely that somebody, is trying to protect Star Wars and give it a slower burn. And I think that remains to be seen if that is what's going to happen. My worry is outside of the Marvel level and outside of the Lucasfilm level, the Disney level will start pushing, the very top level. Again, I'm frightened of Bob Iger. He seems like a lovely man. They're making the Eternals movie in the Marvel side of things. Yeah. I bring that up only to bring up one particular character, and you know what I'm going to say. Yeah. The Kit Harington, famous as a guy who knew very little in the snow, I believe. Jon Snow himself has been cast as a character in the upcoming Eternals film. He's not a small name at the moment, thanks to Game of Thrones. Yeah. And they're giving him Black Knight. So he's going to be, the Black Knight character is going to be on screen and is going to be featured. Yeah. It's not going to be a cameo. Black Knight, I know nothing about the character. When I had a look, he was carrying what they referred to as a laser sword, which is another way of saying lightsaber. Mm-hmm. Now, if the Marvel side of the house are going to be allowed to do a laser sword, that is way too close to stepping on Star Wars territory for me. Mm-hmm. So it will send a message to me. If he shows up and he's holding a sword, I'll be all cool with it. If he shows up and fires up his laser sword, I'm going to be like, uh-oh, Disney are giving Marvel preference on things. It's going to be that simple for me. I'll be like, they let them touch something that's intrinsically is Star Wars.
Yeah,
toy,
no, I get
you
you. Yeah, because that's the other thing. Talk about toys. Star Wars is famously more. It's got the bigger franchise of merchandise.
Yeah,
it's got a longer like thing, and also because of the nature of the films, you are able to build a bigger merchandise franchise. So like. Is that what's keeping Star Wars alive in the sense that they want to do it slowly so that they can get the designs right, so then they can get the merchandise done? Because like I know you've got like, you know, the spider cycle and, you know, or the you know, the Hulk mobile and stuff that doesn't. Whereas in Star Wars, everything that you see is on screen is generally a toy.
Yeah, that's true.
And there's nothing off screen that isn't explained properly.
Yeah.
That is a toy kind of thing. So like,
it's true.
So like, is it the fact that the merchandise is now keeping Star Wars safe in a sense? Like, I don't know.
Well,
I don't think so.
Well, no, but I definitely see what you're saying, and I was dying to kind of just go, yeah, I think that might be part of it, because that's maybe one of the shifts in the business model. That's one of its differences, which means it can be treated differently. Mm-hmm. I'd say that it's one of those things, though. If that changes, that's when we could see an accelerated change in how they approach things. If it's a wobbly leg on the table, if you know what I mean. If they stopped being successful with merchandise, what would they start doing to try and either reignite it or just go a completely different way with the Star Wars universe? Yeah,
or is it that this is the sign of the times with Star Wars, that they're going to do one film to finish off the trilogy and then do those TV shows?
Ooh, maybe.
Like,
you know what?
It'll be weird, like, because, like, and then maybe like until they come with a very concrete trilogy kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, is that what we're gonna see?
So what you're saying is it could, and for all the people who ever get given out to for confusing Star Wars and Star Trek, that'd be a great thing, because you'd be able to go, well, one of them started off as a TV show that became movies. Mm-hmm. The other one started off as movies that might end up being essentially TV based.
Yeah,
that would be a very weird world. It would be a really weird world for me. But you know what? I wouldn't be against it if there's any franchise that I could see transitioning to TV and maybe living out a better universe than it could theatrically.
Yeah,
maybe Star Wars is it.
And then my last question,
hit me.
Is it that the trilogy format is forcing them? Because I know that they've done outside films like Rogue One and Han Solo.
Yeah.
But is because it's been done in trilogies? Is that forcing like Disney's hand in the fact that like everybody sees the Star Wars main piece as 3 films, and then everything outside that is generally just a one-shot film? Yeah,
and right now, if you talk to anybody about what's going to happen after Episode 9, they're going to be like, well, there'll be another trilogy. Mm-hmm. They're not going, there'll be another entry. It's not there'll be a 4th one in this entry. It's like, no, you do 3. Then you do another 3, and you're right. It is maybe the thing that stuck most of the franchise.
Yeah, like that's my only thing is, has the trilogy format, forced Disney's hand to not to be able to accelerate it, because everybody knows. Everybody, like, anytime you say it, like, we've got episode 1 to 3, we've got episode 4 to 7,
4 to 6,
and then 7 to 9. Like, is there going to be a 10 to...
You know what? And it's a whole different video, but I'm just going to show it and go, I hope not. Because I think it's time to just start anew, if you know what I mean. If they're going to do trilogies or whatever they're going to end up doing, it's just Star Wars universe from here on out. Mm-hmm. I think stop at 9, stop at 9, unless you have something specific to tell. Don't be like trying to make this the story of Poe Dameron for then 3 further films or whatever.
Like you're saying... You're saying don't do another trilogy based on the back of something crap. Like, take your time and do the trilogy.
Do a new... If you're going to do a trilogy, do a new trilogy. Be like, 1, 2, and 3 of something new. As in, the last story we told had 9 chapters. This is a new story. This one might have 9 chapters also.
See, that's my only worry about that, is that could be the time that they decide to break away from the trilogy thing and do the whole kind of like...
Do the Marvel?
Do the Marvel. Like,
we're gonna be doing that all night.
It's just a terrifying thing, because like as we've seen with the next 3, with the 3, the first of the new age was an homage to the first, to A New Hope.
Yes.
The second one was a little bit kind of ropier and stuff like that, in the fact that it was a little bit more of a newer story.
Loved by some, hated by others. Hi, Rob. I know you hated it.
Like, yeah, I completely get that. Because it didn't. My problem with the second one in that group is that some of the stuff that it then undid quickly.
Yeah.
And the fact is, and then we have a third film coming out which is on the same kind of ropes and stuff, done by J.J. Abrams, I believe.
Yeah.
So like it's a little bit different from the second one. But is it time to, as you say, retire the whole?
Finish the story. You got to finish the Skywalker story at some stage and move on, or else you're just like, if you get to Star Wars Episode 18, you're probably stretching the story quite a bit. You'd be better off going to TV at that point and doing Battlestar Galactica. Do a journey through a universe with whatever characters you want. Have them come and go, do whatever.
You bring me to the mind of what is it, Star Trek 9, So Very Tired, from The Simpsons.
Yeah,
like that's what I'm worried about. That's what I'm worried about for Star Wars.
I'm worried about getting this stuck in your head. Do the Marvel.
Yeah. So our Marvel kind of Star Wars thing is more kind of like our fear of the fact that, like, will Marvel force Star Wars into its mold sense, where it just turns out movies upon movies and TVs into TV shows, or is it the fact that Star Wars has a weird special place in this house of the mouse, that it is able to keep chugging along at its own speed and own.
I think it's telling that sometimes when we mean to say Disney, we actually say Marvel now. Isn't that scary? And that's the favoritism that I'm a little bit scared about. I kind of wish they weren't both owned by the same people. Just, hey, good job, Disney. I don't hate you for being big. I don't hate you for being great. It's just, it scares me that it's a little bit too much fighting in the same house. Let's hope it goes better than our worst fears. On that, how about you let us know what you think? While you're letting us know what you think, don't forget to hit a subscribe and hit a like if you want to.
So, I've been Paul.
And I've been Patrick.
And we've been Hear Us Out.
Finger guns. And we're back. Welcome back to Homebrew, the show where we drink beers, play Dungeons and Dragons. We don't play Dungeons and Dragons.
You were so close to nailing it. You were almost nailing it.
I know.
I was like, look at him go. My boy's cycling without stabilizers.
We play Dungeons and Dragons. Well, we barely play that. And we have a lot of fun.
Both is true.
A couple of announcements before we jump back in. There is an awesome charity event coming up on November 30th, December 1st, run by Roll for Kindness in support of
Autism Ireland.
Off the top of my head.
I think it's Autism Ireland.
No, it's a specific charity.
Oh, was it?
I don't know, because I know the first one was Belong To and the second one was Autism Ireland, and I don't know what the third one
I
was.
literally looked it up today. Anyway,
This is
whatever.
good.
we just got information in. So.
For chat.
As I am.
Which is the Irish Autism-led support network.
I was getting distracted by Popeye going, I am what I am.
Autism Ireland is separate though, isn't it?
They're, I think, connected to each other.
They have to be.
And it's not the band Aslan. That's what it looks like when you see it. As I am.
Which is why we didn't immediately respond.
Yeah. Aslan does need all the help they can get. Their
they
manager
need-
stole like half their money or something.
Oh,
didn't they?
really?
Yeah.
Is that why they're just always in Bray, playing forever?
I know, they're just good crack like.
Yeah. It's true. I was
That is
at a
the curse
wedding
of
where they
Bray.
did a wedding band. It was amazing.
Deadly.
So that charity stream is coming up on November 30th, December 1st. A couple of us will be playing on it. All going well, everything going well. So we're really looking forward to it. We'll have more information on our social channels, but do check out their social channels. That's probably the best place to get that information. Roll for Kindness. You'll find them on Twitter and
It's
also
got
on
a
Facebook.
4. It's like roll 4.
Because they street.
Yeah.
No, I actually made the Twitter account.
Oh, nice.
How street of you.
I am very street. People say that about me. They're like, Orla, she's very street.
She's a street kid. Last we left off,
are 4 heroes of McKellar. I mean, if you can call them that.
Here's
They
if
have a statue.
McKellar is much more badass than Hooks Punks, but
What are you
Yeah,
saying?
but it's harder
You
to
say you got
say.
a problem with Hux Punks?
I can't even say it without grinning.
Exactly.
Did anyone
I'm
opt?
proud to be a Huck Spunk.
Anyone opt for the free prescription? I'm drinking 0%. I'm just really bad at pronunciations.
What are you trying to say?
The thing,
what's going on?
when you inscribe inscriptions.
Oh, yeah?
Anyone opt for the free
I
inscription?
thought you were
on the
saying there was free prosecco at the bar because we've come back.
Or free prescriptions, like
Yeah.
you got them back.
Y'all want some pills? Y'all heroes. We
Your
got
heroes
pills.
take your free prescriptions.
You're just a
anyone opt
Nurofen. You're
for
going to
the
do some
free-
bleeding out there.
And now it's time to talk about the opiate crisis.
Plaguing McKellar.
That would be such a grim character arc. We come back 2 months later and everyone's just jacked up on opioids.
Big
God, that's why
pharmaceutical
it
that
looks-
we've had to name after a beer.
Yeah.
The only thing stopping them getting in was that hag.
Slurposaurus Pharma.
Anyone up for the free inscription on their armor that says Hooks Punks?
Absolutely.
Yes.
And bedazzled if possible.
Yeah, go
Yes.
on.
You don't have to.
Yeah,
I
go
mean,
for it.
I mean, it won't ruin my billowy cloak, right? It'll
No,
still
you
billow.
can hide it with the cloak if you want.
No,
Where-
I mean, the cloak,
where-
I want it on the cloak, so it'll billow on the cloak.
Okay,
I'd say I want to get it like on my chest, but so that I can cover it with my cloak.
cool.
Like, oh no, I'm not wearing chest armor. Am I?
So you just get it tattooed right there
Yeah,
on your
Yeah.
do
chest.
it. Do
I
it.
mean, if you wanted a picture
I
of
don't really
Huck's
wear
face
any armor. Oh, see,
tattooed onto your
I mean, I
chest.
don't really want to draw
That'd be
attention to myself. I feel like sparkly is bad on the inside of my cloak, so it's
Cool.
chafing against my fur.
Like a nice lining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So
constant
no, on the inside, so I
reminder.
can do this kind of like lift up like a vampire introducing himself.
My name is here on my cloak. I'm
part of a
Dracula.
gang.
Don't be alarmed. I'm not flashing you. I swear. Maybe I am actually.
I haven't
you
thought
know?
this through.
Huck's Punks?
Nothing would make me feel more at ease. Whipping your cock open and
Yeah.
get like a hot sponge.
Huck's Punks?
Yeah.
Oh, it's okay. It just says something horrifying. Never mind.
Huck is starting to feel bad.
In summation, sure.
You have inscriptions. and Quail, what you'd overheard is that these guys are the heroes of McKellar. If anyone's going to provide a little bit of extra muscle on your journey to Drift, especially because of the treacherous waters in front of you, it could be them, but the more you overhear them,
What are you saying?
I'm saying nothing.
Yeah, obviously I don't like fuss. But I do like that they help the town. So, first things first is I'm gonna buy them around.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
What would
that's
you?
only just a regular round. Let's get them around. a bit. We're not doing like
Doubles.
cocktails and stuff here. We're not getting an order.
Kind of gotten accustomed to some pretty fancy stout, but that's fine.
Bottom shelf only, guys.
Yeah.
You get a round of the house ale.
Yeah,
Do we see who it's coming from?
yeah. I like literally walk up and I'm like,
Oh, hello. Lovely hair.
thank you.
A new friend. I'm Huck. We're
Uh,
Huck's Punks.
I begrudgingly open my cloak. Like, yeah, we're all quite proud.
Prestidigitate his to bling more.
That was a lot. But yeah, I'm sorry. I'm Quail.
Quail, thank you for
Good to meet you, Quail.
Thank you for the round.
How do you
Quite
feel about
generous of you.
games?
Let's just see what our new friend has to say before.
New friend.
Well, that's it. We're friends now.
He's very excitable. He's on a big day.
Can I shake her hand really vigorously?
I've got
hang on, sorry.
really big hands
Yeah, I
and
was
I'm
gonna
very
say
strong.
she's 7.5 feet tall. How tall is Hulk again?
He's very.
that
he's
sounds
taller than
like
Rian.
Like
something.
That's your litmus test.
Yeah, I'm a really tall halfling.
Like she'll reach down because she's polite, but like she's big and she's pretty strong. So like, do I roll for damage? here?
Yeah.
I'll grab the one.
you
one
give it like an
finger. The one
intimidating
finger and be
circle.
like. Blah, 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 blah.
Roll a athletics check or straight strength if you want.
Oh yeah, okay. Athletics. Oh, not good. Not good at all. I rolled a 3, so 7.
Do I have to roll against?
No, you were so caught off guard by what's happening. Now,
Enormous furry blue hand.
were you trying to be light?
Yeah, I would have been careful. I'm not trying to hurt him or anything.
So at a 7, you're less careful than you expect.
Oh, sorry. It was the opposite.
Yeah, no, she'd been.
Oh, no. Sorry,
And
I
you
thought
just-
that
I
was
don't
a
know
good.
your own strength.
Your arm
Oh.
is just.
Sorry, my unarmed strikes are a d6.
Oh. I cast
it's
shield.
big.
I cast shield on myself.
A pure reaction.
Yeah.
Oh boy,
Oh,
kid,
no.
kid, you can't sneak up on me like that.
Yikes.
A 6?
That would be a
You
10
rolled a
points of
6.
damage.
10 points of damage.
You're gonna
Wow.
turn him into mist.
I have more than 10 health.
Yeah.
Well, it's like blood mist.
So the rest of you just see this kind of handshake just sort of...
Do I know that I've heard him?
Okay, can I slide a hand it off? Can I try to...
My hand wasn't there!
Well, no, can I try to, like, you know, yeah,
A
pretend
detachable
to
hand pops off.
somehow notice that it's...
In mere
he's
seconds...
definitely not that.
Yeah, roll sleight of hand. Why not? Let's
Great.
make this ridiculous.
See if I can slide a hand off the damage.
Otherwise, I think
This was getting a bit
I'm-
serious for
Oh,
my
yeah.
liking.
Oh, it's a 21.
Okay.
On sleight
So
of hand.
does that mean I don't know that I've heard him?
Yes.
Okay.
So, in a
So we don't know
matter
that she
of
We don't know that he's hurt.
microseconds,
I'll play it off.
you
really
get
cool.
quite a, like, a large... It's as if, like, you know when you're doing those ropes in the gym? Yeah, I know what gyms are.
Yeah, it's
You don't need to tell them.
like wood dump. Like,
wood dump.
yeah, that's you use
The
the
old
wood dumper ropes.
rope gyms.
D&D and CrossFit.
I think you're thinking that
Natural
Keelan knows what a gym is.
enemies.
Yeah, I know
Use the
gyms.
wood
I know,
dump ropes.
I know to mock him for thinking gyms have loads of ropes in them.
Yeah, it's just all gym teachers blowing
Okay.
whistles at people climbing ropes.
You've never gotten past the climbing the rope. Yeah.
Anyway, the sheer force of that handshake sends kind of an impact towards you, and you react with a shield, like, ching, but at the same time try to get your hand away.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that you just kind of like hit a little shield and go, huh. And it's over so quick that no one really knows exactly what happened, except for that was electric.
Ah, spark.
There's chemistry there.
Well met, friend. I don't
yeah.
know why I said that.
You,
Are we
um,
holding your beer in the other arm?
I
'Cause
guess
it goes
I
like-
definitely was. Oh yeah.
And your sleight of hand just catches it.
Oh, perfect.
Like Popeye's
Boom. There you
spinach
go.
into his
Yeah,
There you
21
go.
sleight hand. That's a pretty good beer catch. Like.
Yeah.
Do you know, as far as meeting new friends goes, this is probably the smoothest it's ever gone for us, really.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
When I met them, our ship crashed.
Is that something that happens to you a lot? Because that might change the tone of this conversation.
I've only been on the one ship, so I can't say it.
I don't know. We
Because
were
I was
protecting the
literally
ship.
just about to offer to have you guys on my ship, but that wasn't the most encouraging.
You own a boat.
Ah, no. Sure, we'll be grand.
Where are you going?
Well, that's the thing. I'm sorry, I overheard. That's why I came. But Draked.
Theoretically oversaw.
I
guess.
oversaw.
Yeah.
Sorry, what? I can't remember what the bartender's name
Peach.
is. Peach, that was it.
Yeah. Named after one of Heber's drinks, I think.
Oh, yeah. Wasn't he just
Sorry,
in
I
Good
just
Word?
I was across the room and I saw what Peach was saying. I read what Peach was saying, and I am.
Rude.
Oh, we are.
I have really good eyesight. I'm sorry.
Nay, bother. Sure, we got around. And we met a new friend.
So Drake,
Yeah, I need to go and just check a few things, and that's fine. I man my own boat alone, but
it's your boat.
it's my boat.
Very good, yes.
But
And what do you do with this boat? Are you a merchant or
I'm holding a fishing rod. Literally, I'm holding it in my hand.
I
I
feel like
wanted to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Like it's right. I'm holding it right here.
You're no friend of mine, you fish gutting fuck.
Rian!
I'm sorry.
What are you
To
saying?
everyone else. I'm sorry to everyone else.
This is
This
going
is coming out of nowhere, Rian.
exactly as planned.
I was prepared, but I wasn't as prepared as I was. Fish gutting. Fuck.
I'm sorry.
I don't gut my own fish.
He
Does
doesn't
that
mean
make
it.
it better?
We've had a very long road. He hasn't had
I
much
heard
rest.
you-
Some longer than others.
I heard that you've been missing for 2 months.
Yes, and it's been quite trying, and I apologise for my friend's behaviour. He's normally
That
much
was one
more
hell of a
polite
beer.
and well spoken. Be nice to our new friend and travelling companion, Rian.
Friend.
This is not very becoming of you. I apologise on his behalf.
Can I pick him up?
Yeah.
I would like to wriggle out of it as quickly as possible.
Acrobatics grapple?
Is that a
Grapple.
opposed acrobatics?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Well, would you have to use athletics and he would be acrobatics? Or oh, of course.
Very
Hey,
nice.
the monk,
Good.
ah.
Acrobatics.
That's so good.
I rolled natural ones.
Wow.
23.
I'm gonna
Wow.
use the dice you got me. This is
23. Oh my
I'm
god.
gonna use my new lucky
23.
dice.
Wow, so you go to, like, Are you aggressively going to
No,
like swoop in, or
more
are you just
like
trying
I was going to like put a hand on the back of his neck because I was going to just pick him up as a joke.
Hmm.
And so it looks like I'm putting, like as though I was just going to clap onto his shoulder, but I was going to pick him up as a joke.
like you see a hand come down,
and
you
it's a big hand.
It's a big hand.
like, woo. Seeing what happened to Hook, you like
backflip out of the way.
Yeah. Just
do you have to roll extra for the backflip?
It's beautiful.
Acrobatics. That is a 25.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So it's almost as if like the
My
hand
jaw's
comes
on the
down
floor.
and you jump over.
This is
and
all
just
very
for a split
dramatic.
second, it is graceful, and then you land.
Wow.
Just a foot back from where you were.
Rian, you've really mastered the process. You were listening to my advice this whole time. It's like Tuborg lives on, but a third the size.
I feel his
sorry.
spirit running through me.
Are you? Is Tuborg dead?
No, it's well a poor choice of words.
Did you know him?
I keep an eye on the village. Yeah, so I did notice the big dragon lad sleeping in people's beds. Yeah, he stood out.
Lovely.
He's a lovely lad. He's a good friend of ours.
Oh no,
Is
I
he- what happened to
decided he probably wasn't any harm. Yeah.
He historically about 2 months ago and a couple of days ago like clapped one of the villagers across the head and sent him down to the docks, and would have been one of the first times he heard about him causing trouble.
Yeah.
Did we ever name?
But then, if I knew that lad, would I also not know he was a shit?
Yeah, you did know he
It
was
was
a prick.
something
the lad,
McGinnis
I
or
can't
something,
remember.
wasn't it? It was like
So-
Brian McGinnis or something.
Yeah,
I
sure.
think it was, or Dave or something.
Yeah.
It was Dave. I think it was.
Yeah, I think it was Dave.
Yeah. He got what was coming to him.
Yeah, so if I knew he was a prick, I probably wouldn't have thought much of that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we still haven't named anyone properly Guinness yet, except for the
Yes, that was a McGinnis.
dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me, Quail, do you like Jax?
I've never met him.
The game. And I pull out my Jax set.
Go.
Do you want to play a game of Jax?
What are the rules?
You throw the ball down. and
Sorry, Gillian, do you know how to play jacks?
I have been waiting to ask this question the whole time.
It's very
what
easy.
are the rules?
We roll a d20 against one.
I can't wait for when we eventually enter a Jacks competition and we all discover that Hook doesn't act. He's been teaching us the rules wrong so that he can win.
It's I win. No, I know the vague rules, but not
like
the formalized
does you,
rules.
Keelan, know the rules, Jax?
Yeah, vaguely, yes.
Okay.
It's
so the
throwing
rules
a
of
ball
Jacks-
down,
Go
throw a
on.
ball down, and then while it's in the air, you have to grab as many jacks as you can, and then I think catch the ball.
Oh, there's a
and
ball
then,
involved?
Yeah, there's a ball and then there's a little jack.
I knew
He's
that.
just been throwing the jacks at people.
Yeah.
But there is also
Never
a ball.
mentioned a ball.
Well,
ever.
I have a lot of jacks, but if I threw the ball away, I wouldn't be able to play the game.
It's just one ball.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
So,
okay.
and then you take turns. It's trying to get the most amount while successfully doing that.
Yes. Yeah.
I think
There
when you
might
cast
be a-
Catapult, you should start bouncing a ball. It's like as many people
Just
as you
for
Well, I mean,
Flavor,
jacks
like.
look like those things that are the anti-horse things that you see in.
Yeah.
I always thought if I made it in a large,
Caltrops
caltrops are for like standing on. But yeah, you know I think their name is literally.
Really
Caltrops
big
are for
horse
standing on.
caltrops.
No, they're called like anti-chevalier or something.
Shurikens
Something
are
in French.
for getting stabbed.
Not anti. Anyway, whatever they're
I
called.
don't think it's Chevalier.
No, obviously not. Yeah, you're right. It's a French term for killing horses. I could be wrong entirely.
Tweet
Either
in
way,
if you know the French word for killing horses.
you
We
know,
don't need any context. Just tweet us the words.
Just enjoy the ads Google sells your way.
Le Petit Mort.
Little big.
The Little Death.
Oh, sorry.
No,
I was
no.
thinking
No,
Irish and
You're
French at the
thinking
same time.
Irish, yeah.
As soon as I said it, I was like, that's definitely not right. I've heard that phrase before.
Yeah, well, they look like them anyway. When you enlarge them, I've thought about it. If we had cavalry against us, I might enlarge a jack as anti-cavalry.
So why would a fisherman want to bring us to Driacht?
Well,
What's in it for them?
that's what I was going to say here before you started with your weird anti-fish bigotry.
So we say no.
Oh, no.
jacks.
I'm pro-fish. I'm anti-fisherman.
Right, that makes sense. That's a pretty logically consistent point of view, and I respect it.
I think that one of Rian's aliases was a fish. Maybe. It's the only explanation.
And for the first time, you notice that Rian's always been slightly damp and standing in a bucket.
Oh my god! I
The mustache.
think Iggy is starting to really
We've
believe
got an
that.
aquatic chicken boo situation.
Can I look at his neck a bit and just see, like,
Yeah, make a
is there
perception
any
check.
gills?
Yeah.
Cheval de Massacre. Apparently, is what they're called.
I know my
I
French
got-
is
I
like
got-
a
According
great
to
advice.
Paul, like, he didn't just suddenly remember that.
I got 10.
no gills, but
That was going to kill you if you didn't.
wouldn't a
say it,
fish
wasn't it?
who's hidden this long also know how to hide his gills?
Okay, I'm just gonna keep that.
Getting
Maybe he
dangerously
has
close to
gills, right?
My friends, the point
No wonder
is...
it's popping up as he talks.
Honestly, it's the only explanation I've heard that makes any sense for him hating fish or hating fishermen so much.
Well, what I was gonna say was that I'm on my boat alone around here. That's fine. I can run it just fine. But all the way to Driacht with pirates and weirdness and sea monsters and all that. I mean,
Well, we are bound for Driacht.
So you fear the pirates?
well, I can handle myself, but I would prefer to not have to.
The only boat fight we've been on, we won.
That's true. And we didn't
Didn't-
cause.
The boat
Didn't-
sank.
Yeah.
Didn't you
And we
just
didn't die.
didn't you just say that you were on a boat that sank?
Aye, but we won the fight.
We didn't-
So far
it
as they
didn't-
were trying to kill us.
It wasn't some...
Did you win a fight with a boat?
And the people on it, but yes,
In
mostly the
our
boat.
defense, it was scuttled as we slept. It wasn't a matter of running it into rocks or missailing it in any way. It was we were
Yes.
attacked and we survived, and no one was hurt except for the orc pirates.
Aye, so 100% victory.
We share a common grudge in that pirates are assholes.
If you were to let us come on your
Right,
boat
so-
to go that way, I think we would pledge to protect your boat. I mean, of course, if you were giving us passage in that way,
That would be the idea, yeah.
very handy for us, wouldn't it?
And it rings a bell, like, boats sinking, like, around these waters recently. It's gotten worse, and it has been mainly vessels of the Galway Bay Shipping Company.
As in this
but
was happening pre the 2 month time jump.
yeah. As in,
on
like,
for a
the
while.
boat
That's
you
what we were on,
were
right? That was the
was a
coast.
Galway Bay Shipping Company boat. And there was kind of rumors of that spreading through, that, like, mishaps happening to vessels trying to make trade.
Like maybe
between...
I thought it was
I-
deliberate.
Do you
Yeah,
ken the horse,
a
the
little bit.
SS Via Maris?
Yeah, it was one of the boats that sank.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Do you work with the Galway Bay Brewery?
No.
And
I have
what's
further questions.
happening more and more is because they were specifically targeted, now trades people and merchants sailing on the boats are trying to disguise their boats like fishermen boats to try get through these sort of orc pirate
Yeah,
attacks.
so here's the thing, like no one ever tries to rob my boat. It's just got mackerel on it, like
Sounds great.
people don't really steal mackerel because when I don't know if you've ever caught mackerel, but they're really dumb.
I don't know if you ever met Rian, but
Yes. Hey, wait a minute.
So you don't really need to steal them off another boat because
Right, spending
you,
more fish in the sea.
yeah, literally, yeah.
Yeah.
They come
I
in
needed
the
to hear that,
thousands,
thanks.
and you don't even need bait. You literally just put some hooks in and I just
Some
can't
hooks?
describe how easy they are to catch.
That's why she needs you on the
Yeah.
boat to cast more.
The plan is we put you on a string.
They're just really so no one would steal them. You know what I mean? You'd catch them faster than you'd steal them off another boat. But now because these Galway Bay ships are pretending they're fishermen, they're getting it just changes the whole thing.
so she's not really a fisherman. She's more of a fish acquirer.
A fish whisperer.
Okay.
A fish burr.
I think that I don't fully know if we can trust her yet, given the fishing rod. But I think it's going to be
Who's
the
he?
quickest way to Driacht, and I think between the four of us we can handle ourselves if she decides to turn all
That's probably
fishy on us.
That's probably not true, but luckily it
I mean,
probably won't happen.
Perhaps over the journey to Driacht with our new friend, we can unpack
Friend?
these issues you seem to have buried deep down. Yes, how can you, friend?
Friend Tourette's.
Yeah, he's become a bit simple today.
Ever since losing your memory for 2 months. It's just-
Squirrel?
Yeah, he's really been thrown off his game.
his eyes are glassy. He's just...
People don't normally buy him rounds.
Is it something to roll for to just like, does it seem like she's telling the truth when
yeah,
she's
that would be an
describing
insight
that?
check.
Okay, can I do that?
Yep.
Do I roll anything or do I just...
You can either roll
That was a
persuasion
19.
or deception. Your choice.
Fuck's
You don't have to tell me what it is.
Oh, no.
I accidentally rolled a 19, but I actually rolled a 10.
Well, I
Sorry.
rolled a 4, so...
Explain that to me.
I
She
I
dropped
like
the
dropped
dice.
it
She dropped
and
the
it was
dice,
a 19.
saw it was a 19 and just counted it.
Before I, tried to play it
okay.
off, I picked it up again.
You rolled the dice in your hand, found 19, and placed it down. And you're like, hold on a second.
But 10 is what I got, so I'm guessing that's... Oh.
But I only got a 4, so...
No
That was your
reason.
accidental roll. Do you want to try that?
yeah.
That's how we play.
Yeah.
No reason not to believe it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Though, like, Rian is making a somewhat convincing case that, like, between Hook instantly believing people, which has sometimes gone well for you,
Yeah.
and
You mean
Rian always
always
being
gone well?
suspicious, which has always gone well for you. You don't know which of these halflings to. One always makes friends.
Yeah,
one never makes friends.
Yeah.
You can ask them one question.
A broken halfling is right.
Are we
Once
just
or
the
twice a
halfling
day.
equivalent of the angel and the devil on your shoulder?
Yeah.
You should be friends with them. It's like,
You should kill them and take
don't
their
trust
bag.
them. Yeah,
Fish
yeah.
fuck. Yeah.
Who knew that the evil one was French?
I did.
You could have guessed. Yeah.
I did.
By the way, apparently it's Cheval de Frise.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
Okay.
the thing.
Sweet.
That's the thing. Just to clarify again.
yeah.
Bring it
So you
back
don't
to
get
that.
another dump of that Gygax award, am I right?
Yeah,
Covering all bases.
exactly.
Gary Gygax, famous for his sophisticated understanding of French cavalry tactics.
It was actually the first thing he developed for all of D&D. He came up with the mechanics of a Cheval de Frise.
It was reverse engineered,
yeah. You got to come up with something
How do I
first.
make a
That's-
game about French cavalry? Well, I'll need dragons.
Well, the dragons came late game. At first, it was a very long slog about a very specific period in
Napoleon is the
French
eventual
military
boss.
history.
Yeah, the dungeons are actually just a metaphor for the invasion of Russia.
Yeah.
That actually makes a lot of sense in
Yeah.
a later edition. Yeah.
I remember reading that of Dyson Men. Yeah. The autobiography of Gary Gygax.
Was he
It's a
the
real book, actually.
Yeah, was he the smart one or the no?
Or is he the one that always told the truth? Or?
tell me about the dungeons, George. Look out to the plains, Gary.
Is it Lenny?
Lenny, yeah.
Lenny, yeah.
Oh, so sad.
That book.
Also fictional.
I mean, yes.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but let's.
Go check him out.
Here's a hot take of Mice and Men. Sad.
Shout out to John Steinbeck.
Yeah. All you kids staying up, you know, they're
Yeah.
passing your leaving cert. You got it. Sweet.
It's actually on the junior cert now.
I know. As I said that, I was like, wait, junior cert, right?
I have a teenage niece. It's very scary.
But it's when you left school, right?
Your
So it
kids
was
are
your
terrifying.
leaving
Yeah,
cert.
Jesus.
Was
Playing with lighter the whole time.
The thing is that they do the darndest things,
No,
and you never.
No, the
Not
worst
anymore.
thing is I was awful, but she's great and well behaved and perfect and smart and stuff, and I'm like, oh no, but any minute now it's all gonna go to hell.
I know. I think the scariest thing is introspection, realizing you were actually a bad person, which I've had several
Yeah.
times.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like, oh,
yeah,
kids
yeah.
are terrible. Turns out kids are fine. I was just a dick.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I was like, oh,
You
all
were a bad
14-year-olds were like this, and I'm like, oh wait, no, they weren't. That was
Yeah.
just
So
me.
my little sister would have to keep reminding me, I'm not lying. I'm going to my friend's house when I say I am. Like, stop
probably
projecting.
high right
Yeah, Lucy's all being like, "No, I'm being cool. Where are you going?"
Yeah,
Wink,
yeah,
wink.
Yeah, Beth was like, oh yeah, we were
What's
just
up? You need some drugs? You need some booze?
we were just in the food court in Omni. I'm like, yeah, but Beth, where were you really?
Yeah.
And as you catch up over these drinks and get to you
My
find
demeanor warms slightly to this fisherman. I'm like, not so
I'll
bad.
prestidigitate slight warmth.
I don't know. I mean, so many things that spell can and can't do.
I know, yeah.
That it just becomes the like catch-all cantrip. I mean, like I prestidigitate fireball or whatever.
Yeah, it
Or at
wouldn't
least
do. It wouldn't do
looks
very
like
much.
fireball.
Yeah.
But certainly some.
That's a
warmth.
minor sensory
Some
effect,
warmth.
I would
Yeah,
say.
Yeah, true. It's
Some
just
warmth
that
I
they
can
also
give
have
them.
minor illusion. So that's the
Yeah, but
No, you
Which
can't
is
do
a-
warmth with minor illusion.
no. You
No,
can just do
you
the flames.
You could
Yeah,
do
yeah,
like
An electric fire with just
you
paper.
could
mix
do
the
an
two.
illusion of like those lines you see when I'm really hot in the distance.
Oh yeah.
that is a good one
Squiggly
to do,
lines.
though. That would be a good way of
Also
tricking
could mean
people.
smelly, right? To hot or to smell.
Yeah.
And as the evening rolls in,
Yeah, I tried so hard to get us back on
And as
track.
dawn breaks,
You ever notice how smelly
the world
deserts
collapses around you and plot continues.
Oh, that'd be swell.
4 new adventurers roll into town.
We're the new heroes, McKellar.
We'll fight them.
You,
Chair and backflips.
you find evening rolling in, and it's your choice whether to set sail under the guise of night or wait until tomorrow morning.
Who
Depending
are
if anything anyone has
asleep.
anything.
well, setting sail under the guise of night would hide us from pirates,
Who are
but
the guys?
also hide pirates from us.
Well, no, I mean, I don't know about that. I don't see that well in the dark.
I would defer to the captain on the best practice for sailing.
Agreed.
Because a lot of these pirates are orcs and half orcs, and they see a lot better in the dark than I do.
That they do.
Well, I mean, some
also
of us
a
are
rest
pretty
would be
handy at
helpful.
that.
Because I mean, I imagine I don't know about you.
We've had a
Oh, I can see quite well in the dark, and
Yeah,
also my
I don't
magical
have-
shield glows quite well in the dark.
we've had a bit of a
Pretty
long
good.
a long day.
Long
Night.
2 months.
If
A
it
long
helped-
2 months, I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it
I
helped at
know.
all, I could climb up to the crow's nest and just spin around in
It's
a
not.
circle.
No, don't worry. It's not that big about. We don't know. No, there's no.
We should create a name for that.
I'm sorry, it's been a while since I've been drinking quite heavily.
If that's on me, I kept buying rounds. So. Why do I keep turning into a hook?
Not the only
That
one
never
that can
happens.
change
I
the
like
That never happens. Usually all turn into French.
Huck's dream for his friend to impersonate him.
Yeah. And my accent is ill-defined. So well played.
You find
I was
yourselves.
trying to go dead.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I'd say we go for a
let's
rest,
go
right?
daybreak. I reckon.
Yeah, we're
We
tired.
should
Resty,
probably
rest.
sleep.
Before you go to bed, Captain Quail, are there any roles you'd like to assign
Ooh,
on this boat?
Best boy.
that's a film set.
Yeah.
I know.
I would like to.
Gaffer.
He's also the data wrangler.
The
That was
Gretch.
for the tech people in the room.
Film set jocks and nerds.
You want me to rig a light?
Want me to carry a memory card?
Oh, that's so harsh. To a really subset of people. Well, I would say that Hook, you're clearly the morale officer.
Aye,
Sure.
the gameskeeper.
Stay over here out of the way and juggle.
I love that classic role on a ship, the morals officer.
In the ancient tongue of the Firbolg, it's called a Hufflepuff.
Great.
Yeah.
Aye, a Hufflepuff sounds great. I'll huffle along with the best of them.
Oh, does your boat have a name?
Oh yeah, sorry. So we'll be setting sail on Phelim's fate.
Film's face.
Fate. Fate with a T.
Phelim's face.
Fate as in F-E-T.
Great time.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
It's
Carnival?
a little party.
No, with an A.
Oh, Huck was excited.
You don't have to assign roles. It's just if you.
No, just
just
the
the morale
officer.
officer.
We're gonna need a lot of morale and nothing
Hi
else.
lads, I'm the best.
I'm sorry, I might not be great at delegating. I normally sail the ship alone.
Oh, well,
But
I'm
I'll-
not very helpful, so that
I'll,
works.
that's honestly not a problem. I'll try and make people feel included.
Aye, that's my
People
job.
notoriously love that with
I'll make
chores.
them feel included. Didn't bother yourself with that.
Oh,
Didn't
good,
fash yourself with that.
I really feel like I've chosen the right person for this job, Hook.
Come on, lads. Let's go. Oh, are you going to sleep?
Everyone's KO'd. Like it's at a session where everyone's like face first on the table, and you're like just about keeping your eyes open.
Boat,
It's like,
boat,
let's go.
boat,
Oh, you're
boat.
all. Oh.
Tomorrow it is. And you have a restful night's sleep for the first time
I don't know. I
in
jump
a
on the
long
bed.
time. Rian, make a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom.
Yeah.
That's a
Ooh, that was
17.
The curse of the
and
fisherman.
Unborn goose.
Is he still wearing it?
No, I'm not wearing it anymore.
But he's gotten so good at it.
Yeah. He's attuned and he doesn't have to wear it.
You find yourself in a dream, as dreams often do. Because you're never
Find themselves in dreams.
you just kind of go, well, I guess I'm here. You simply find yourself to be.
Or not to be.
What percentage are you drinking this evening?
Zero.
0%.
Zero. Maybe
I
you should
need
have a
alcohol
few.
to settle my
Or
nerves.
like
to be
he's
fair-
on his best behavior.
Yeah,
The
now-
fact that he's on 0%.
Now we've just
You
discovered
want
you
to drink?
you have a
I think we
problem,
just steady
Ben.
you out.
take the edge off, man.
It's called Abbé de Vauclair, but I just don't know when to, it's just sitting behind me.
Pronounce it one more time.
Abbé de Vauclair.
Oh, a little shiver.
Yeah, it's
That's
French.
pretty cool.
Really?
Yeah.
When you have to open it, can I open
Yeah,
it?
French
think-
lager with an orange
I
peel.
think an abbé is an
Ooh.
abbot
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something like that.
But
And Beauclair means rail.
What percentage is it, man?
it is 7.5.
Damn, that.
So I won't.
Seriously, when you have to open it, can I open it?
Yes, yeah, of
Very
course.
excited.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love
I always have it behind me just in case you meet someone who could be Abbé de Vauclair. Yeah.
All this time
I mean,
we were looking
spoiler.
for the thing that kills horses. You had the thing right there.
The Imperials.
Abbé de Vauclair.
Well, I thought you were looking for a more specific answer than just the French.
Yeah. And then Ghost Ship, which
Is that not the name of your boat?
I'm really glad that's not the name of your boat.
which yeah, no, I'll
I could have
enjoy
sworn
now.
it was going to end up being Cornish Clarity.
Yeah, I was like, it's Dan.
Named after my
That's
first
what I understand.
Yeah, that's a very exciting beer name you chose to bring. Or exciting
I
name.
know.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I was late coming out of work. I wanted to find cool ones, and then my offie really let me
Yeah.
down.
John
How
I
said,
named
great
the
would
ship
it
after
be?
my first marriage, which sank.
Ah, yes.
But we never get beers that are just a person's
You
name.
know that's.
No,
Salem is a name, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's actually exciting, as you say. It's actually.
Yeah,
Salem
usually
sounds like a good guy. Dan sounds like a dick.
There are so
Don't
many
you
beers
dance
we
out
drink on the
there.
show that just go drank and unnamed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually
what are
wanted to
people
comment
currently drinking?
because Keelan was nice enough to give me beers for this evening, and this is top tier. One's too much.
Oh, it's delicious. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
it's
I just
so
drank one
good.
myself.
Ooh,
Blackberry
one's too
wheat.
much.
Like, drink this in your mouth and let it sit there because it's real good.
Sit in your mouth? That's not
Strict
how
instructions.
That's how I drink.
Are you a Muppet?
Okay, now, Ben, you just said you find yourself in a dream as dreams often do.
Yeah.
You don't want to be throwing stones at
That's
that
right.
glass.
Yeah.
That way.
I mean, they kicked Joseph out of that Pharaoh's place for worse prophecies. So.
I find myself in a dream.
As
Dreams
dreams
often
often do. What I wrote down on my notes was, as with all dreams, you simply find yourself to be. But what I read was, you find yourself in a dream as dreams often do.
I think even as
I mean, it's not
dreamers
much
often
better,
do.
but it is better.
If Shakespeare wrote it, they'd be like, oh, very good.
I'm so
That was
excited for our eventual
400,
merch store.
you know,
If
hundreds
Shakespeare
of
wrote
years
it, it would have
ago.
been a dick joke.
He was very good at them.
You are
Anyway.
seated, and you've got a mug of ale in one hand, and you see Fraggerrock resting easy by your side. The ale you're drinking, do you know what it is?
It's
A
someone
lem
else.
sip.
It's a
Hi, Glenn.
High Glen.
You're drinking the famous High Glen Ale.
Your friend Glenn is nearby.
Makes sense because you get served it by Glenn, and that's what you know what it's called. Oh, hi, Glenn.
It goes blue when
To be fair, he
Glens are
looks
nearby.
very
Banquet
friendly.
tables stretch out in front of you, and down an impressive stone and woodwork hall, the dream starts to fill in. You notice a large spiraling glyph. Glyph, yes.
Yeah, you got it.
I got it that time.
Oh, you're doing so good, baby.
In,
Ben.
in the ground around your throne. Ah, yes, your throne. For your Lobo, descendant of Lu, one of the high kings of Hibernia, and a champion of the Fianna, and you are holding court. News has come to you of a landing of ships in the west of Hibernia, a race of people seeking refuge for some unknown darkness, some unknown terror, and they seek to make western Hibernia, the forest there, their home. And as dreams often do, you find yourself still in this throne room, this banquet hall, but now kneeled in front of you, you see a man. Wait, he's not quite a man. His features are fey-like in nature. His form, unlike the fey you know, his form is somewhat graceless. Not like the fey you fought and since made a treaty with. His ears are pointed, his beauty is pronounced, and yet, compared to the beauty of an archfey, he appears diminished. His name is Elf. No, that's the name of his people, these refugees. His name is Eramon, son of Milispania, here to entreat that you let his people stay. Allow his people to make Hibernia their home. What would you like to do?
Let them stay.
Have you checked if any of them are fishermen?
They did come on boats.
Yeah, I fully thought that's where this was going. This is where his hatred comes from.
Get out!
And you take Fraggerrock by your side and you place it either side of his shoulder and get him to state his purpose. And his purpose is true. And so you feel confident in your decision to let these people stay in the west forests of Hibernia. And then you wake up.
Let people go.
I came with a dream, a prophecy. I am a baker. I brought loads of bread. I am a wheat man. There was no wheat. One of you will die when you... I don't know.
And now all
Talk
of
to
the
Andrew Lloyd
elves,
Webber.
all of the elves are Jewish now. That's
And ejector seat from the door.
Ba-boo!
Are you writing all of this down?
You wake the following morning, and there's an instinct that comes across you to look for Fraggerrock. And it has somewhat shrunk. It was a long sword. It seems not quite a short sword, but
That's
almost.
embarrassing.
Is it cold in the...
Has he just been in for a swim?
Usually this is bigger when I wake up. It's little less unwieldy.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, so this is good.
Easier to handle.
Easier to handle.
Depends who you ask, really, I suppose.
Whereas when
mean,
Quail wakes up first thing in the morning, that fishing rod.
Right up there.
Again. Just tuck it in my waist.
Easy.
Whoops, sorry guys.
Sorry, it's my raging fishing line. I'm so sorry.
And so you all gather at the bottom of the bar sign. You pay your dues. You guys
it
are
better
like,
not be 2 months.
Yeah, well, because you are the heroes, you are Huck's punks. Peach decides to kind of let your bill be more of her gift for saving what is now a town full of patrons.
I mean, she held rooms for us for that 2 months of time.
No,
not letting anyone
absolutely
through.
not.
I was gonna say,
She didn't come back that first
Not
night.
that nice of her then.
I'll fob it off then. All of those stays that you actually paid for.
Before we head down to the docks or anything like that, I want to kind of tell everyone that I'll meet them there.
Okay.
Is there any like livestock or anything in this town? There's no farmland.
This is an odd line.
I'm going somewhere with this.
Yes, you do make a perception check as you step out of the bar sign.
Not great.
I mean, I live here. You could just ask me.
I could, but I snuck away.
You couldn't find the market,
that is a
and
6.
it's apparently booming.
It's busier than it has been here, and historically you've not been able to find a lot of things. These straight streets are very confusing.
Well, okay. How about this? And I don't mean to like try and switch my role basically, but I want to try and figure out an area that Bigfoot might have frequented in the area, because I know he doesn't come into town, but he surveys from the ranges. Somewhere that he might go, somewhere that looks like somewhere you could get a good view of the town without going into it.
Probably up close to where he was. The Kilcalvan Lake had a nice view of the town.
Okay, and is that
it's a
very
little
far
bit
away?
further. It's a little bit further back.
Okay,
but
well then I want to go to the fringes of town in that direction, somewhere
Sure.
he would pass through if he was coming close.
Yep.
And I want to so yeah, I'm by myself. I want to find some tree or kind of rock, anything that's kind of like a pronounced feature. I want to druid craft some plant life around it, and I want to just kind of write the words "thank you" on it, and then head back down to the boat.
You find a place where most likely, and make a survival check just for looking for tracks.
Survival. That is a 21.
And what's odd is that when you come out this road and it's like fully paved and cobbled, it's like around it the plant life and the flora are like trying to push itself back in. So it's more vibrant than even when you left and was half built. Now that it's fully built, there are like, it looks Fey-like. That's how big these kind of trees and shrubbery have kind of grown in and out, and multitudes of colors. Berries you wouldn't have thought would grow this close to the sea. So you find a space, and you find a tree you think would be the best one, and it's easy enough to druid craft because it responds to you trying to make it grow and turn it into something, and you push it up and spell thank you. Not only just in a small tree, but like across trees. You think this could be seen from his lake.
Cool. I am a powerful magician. Cool, that's all I want to do. And I'll head back down to everyone else and get ready to board.
Sure.
I mean, before Huck lost all of his memory, he was quite fascinated with the mossy stick.
Yes.
Do I still have that? I don't
Did
know
you
if
have
I-
it?
I don't know.
Or
'Cause
did
I
Steve
definitely
have
wanted
it?
to grab it, but definitely other
Yeah,
people,
no,
other
you said
people
you
grabbed
wanted it. I looked at it, got nothing. I would have handed it to you.
Cool, right.
This mossy stick, whatever.
So I
Yeah,
don't
you
know
have
where
it.
I got it.
You don't know where you got it.
Just don't put
Cool.
it too close to your face because it goes.
Can I go to Goat?
You can go to the goat.
Cool.
Yeah.
Have I met Goat?
Yeah, we
We
were all
all
there.
walked in, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just tag along with you guys. I got nothing to do.
Yeah, I mean, also you'd be familiar with him. Like.
You should meet Goat, he's great.
Yeah.
I've lived here my whole life.
I say you know Goat then. He's great.
And
He is. It's not a. I don't know if you've noticed. It's not a huge town.
I hadn't noticed, to be honest. It's
fairness-
full of people.
for how small the town is, you've only really been to like 2 streets
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like over to the mayor's house. There is more to the town.
I do enjoy how Hook is oblivious to condescension, though.
You go to
Huck and
Goat's
Felix.
workshop, and you see outside like a glorious sign, which says,
Huck's punks. I took it.
"The McKellar inventor. Just tell me the idea, and I'll make it, or explode trying." And you go inside, and it's not busy, but he is inside. and you hear a little bell go off as you go in. That's new, I think. I don't think that was there before.
There's something else. It might be a bigger bell. Bong bong.
And he goes, "Oh yes, yes."
Goat, how are you? I found this stick. Mossy stick. I think.
Oh, did I leave that somewhere? I didn't. I usually am better at looking after my things.
No,
It's yours?
Uncle Rian's here.
Steps out perfectly from behind, but slightly smaller.
I'm sorry, Hook. Did you want to make this visit alone? Because we can stand out.
No, I wasn't. I was
You're
very
like
excited
automatically
about.
inviting everyone.
Yeah.
I was gonna be there too with the cauldron. I
Yeah,
think.
no, because
Check it out.
Iggy's behind you. I don't know if you've noticed.
Ah!
Hi, Goat.
Quail.
This might be a magical stick. I certainly don't know how I got it. Will you find out if it is a magical stick?
Absolutely. Let me have a look. And he takes it and instantly scurries away over to one of his workbenches. And he puts it up between two vice grips. And he's holding it there. And you see him start to do something. He goes, "No, no, no. I do this all the time. I do need payment."
He was really just swindled before.
Would you like to be me friend? You're already my friend. Don't worry about it.
Come on. We're Hook's punks.
How much is it?
Doesn't that mean anything in this town anymore?
We're the old. Yeah, I have some charisma.
Usually people save payment.
How much does it cost?
It would be and he goes over and checks ledgers, and you see that like his price is just slowly increasing as he tries to find the right price to charge for something. Like it was like 5 copper pieces.
Do I actually see that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
He's not. It's a big book.
Yeah.
And it comes in. He goes, 15 gold.
How about we do the Huck's Punks price?
15 gold minus 5% is
1 gold.
I'm not sure about that. You can make a persuasion check.
Sweet.
Just to persuade him of math that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and he's the smart one.
He's an engineer, not a mathematician.
This is what charismatics can do, you know.
Is because there's a few things we have. Could we give him
that's
a
a
few
natural
things
one.
and see if
You
maybe
can
he
re-roll
goes?
it.
Oh, I can
Yeah.
re-roll it. I am a halfling. This is fine.
That should be Hook's autobiography.
Slightly better. 16 to persuade. And I rolled an 8.
Yeah, you have
14 gold, 3 silver pieces.
Sure.
I think he means off.
I don't know how many silver
Humble.
pieces.
Go.
didn't have
If
any
you could
silver
round
pieces.
it down to 14, I'll
Silver.
bring
3?
you something back from direct.
Ooh. Round it down to 13.
There we go. 13.
Well, I guess rounding
Thanks,
it down would be
friend.
10. No, I see what you're doing. Yes, 14 gold.
10, you said.
10. Here's 10 gold.
And he counts it up and goes, "You're missing 3 gold."
I give him 3 gold.
Perfect.
Great.
Takes it.
Huck's just bad at maths.
and he identifies this wand for you. He goes, "Oh, very interesting.
Wand.
Where did you find this?"
I was in my hand when I woke up.
No,
would
you
explain.
definitely already had it.
It was in my hand when I woke up near that tree when we all started walking back down to the town, and it had been 2 months since we drank that beer.
This is a wand of goop.
Goop? What's
Y-
goop?
You can 7 times while holding this. You can cast goop out of it, and the goop attaches, and it would stick people.
Ooh.
Very fitting for Hook's Funk.
7 times.
Seven.
Oh, so on the spunk.
It's the best.
Ooh, you've heard of it.
The best 13 gold I've ever spent.
Hook's Funk,
wand
Hook's
of
Funk
goop.
stick.
And
Wand
he-
of goop.
he hands you
7
essentially back-
7 goes.
Essentially a wand of web,
Ah,
but
okay.
a wand of goop.
Brackets web.
Can I show him the cauldron as well? And see if.
Yeah, he
Hook,
takes it.
it's very important for morale officers not to use that sort of wand on a ship. It's standard procedure.
Okay.
You can't sabotage someone else's jacks with it, is what you're saying, right?
stick the jacks to the ground. That way they can't.
That
pick them up.
really, that really wasn't what I was saying.
Got 7 charges.
But
Yeah, and
Definitely
it
use them
will
on
regain
jacks.
1d6 plus 1 charge daily at dawn. But if you expend the last charge, roll a d20. On a 1, the wand, it says crumbles into ashes and destroys. I'm thinking goops.
explode.
Good thing I can re-roll ones.
It falls down on itself and it will never be a wand again.
It's gonna be hard to know if Haku will not just continuously go. Bam.
3 charges around his workshop. So you hand him the cauldron?
Yeah.
Where'd you get that cauldron?
Have we not gone through this now?
No, you
Apparently, we never have.
Huh? Let me explain where we were. While they're looking at the cauldron, I explain everything that happened.
Yeah.
So
He takes it and he looks
The
in.
Feywild.
The
Euclid.
And I ask him, what do you see when you look at it?
And he stares into it, and he's gone longer than Arlington was. And he comes back and goes, "Oh, I've never been that big." This is very fascinating. Well, it's a cauldron, but seemingly looking into it transports you into the past, but not like an interesting past, just this one giant's past.
I was thinking, would this be maybe useful to you? Like, the stuff you can do with the bag of holding, like possibly what this has, maybe you might be able to turn this into something. So we're leaving soon, but do you have anything if you wanted to trade?
A trade? Well, I don't think I could turn anything from this, but it would provide entertainment at night. And he brings you over to what is now like a nice display of things.
Yes.
And you see sort of
You're
this.
reading into that a little bit too much.
It's a VR headset for porn, right?
You're gonna put that on my tombstone.
Are you buying a couple of items? Is
What
there anything in
items?
particular you're looking for?
Just to say, I was looking for well, I don't know if he doesn't really do like weapony things, so maybe that was something we would have gotten before when we were with armor. But I was looking for things like ideally something like an arrowy thing with like poison, something I can do from afar, damage-y. And also learn to use it.
This is how ours.
Or honestly, just anything interesting that might be useful.
Something that you might fire like this.
Guys, I know how to archery. Also dance. La, la, la.
It's not pleasant,
Summon
that
spirit
archery.
fingers.
Yes, spirit
I was
fingers.
thinking, your new skill is jazz hands.
He shows you towards
Dazzling.
because if you're looking for weapons, the blacksmith next door historically is the one who.
Yes, I realize. Yes.
But if you're looking for something that will fire an object, well, there's this, and he takes out what just seems like a black circle, and he places it on the ground.
No way.
And he goes, "Step onto that."
Will I be okay?
Good point. And he steps on, and because of the kind of like intricate, as was I once described as like a hamster's house of things.
Oh, yes.
It's like a really nice Scandinavian studio apartment where it's like you walk in, but it's also upstairs and all that kind of stuff. It's really contained.
Hamster-like, sure.
Yeah. And you see him launch 20 foot into the air and grab onto something and then just scurry back down. He goes, "Sometimes I use it to get up to bed if I don't want to use the stairs."
It's cool.
It's called the whippersnapper.
Cute.
I could give you that.
Sure, why not?
Fair trade.
I mean, you guys don't think that the cauldron where we pretend to be giants is worth anything, right?
I no hated it. When I went in there, absolutely hated it. That big?
Giants and fishermen. Is there a list?
Oh no, I like giants. I just
He's
wouldn't
told
want
you.
to be there. Whereas fishermen,
Was because I am also technically part.
You are significant.
I know. I feel sorry for you being a giant, and I absolutely despise the fact that you are a fisherman. I'm a man of complex feelings.
Please still give us a ride. to the next town
We've
over.
been through this. She barely fishes at all. They fish themselves into her boat.
I'm honestly kind of entertained.
You
So can I take that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can hand her the whippersnapper in fair trade. Hello, Claire. How are things?
Nor.
Claire.
Claire. Most patient person ever. Yay!
I'm excited for a spin-off show.
Claire does a really
Well,
great Twitch show
after
in
I
the other
replace
room.
the whole rest of the cast, Claire's actually going to be on with me.
Yeah, I like the sound of
Be a
that.
much more streamlined show. Anyway,
Can
I'd
I-
watch it, to be honest with you.
Can I run next door to see about getting this weapon that,
Yeah. You
jazz
want,
hands, archery, something?
a bow?
Yeah, that's what it's called.
She might call it a bag.
Sure.
Never heard of it.
You mean-
I'm looking to fire sticks real
Yeah.
far.
You quickly go into Stiegel and he's like, "Oh, whoa, it's you.
Hello, yes.
You saved the town."
Well,
I was
Throwing your
I
single brain.
take so much credit when I was quite useless. During
honored
it,
to
but-
make your armor. What can I do for you?
Yeah, I was looking. Would you have a some arrows and a bow? Maybe something that could be poisoned or something like that I could use from it afar, not quite in the fray.
Well, I'm a blacksmith. I make swords, axes.
Okay, well, the guy next door said to come to you. So what's in the next door?
You were very set up for that.
I only make cotton candy.
I see now that it was stupid asking, but you just said, okay.
But I could, I will give you my hunting bow.
Oh, thank you.
I usually go hunting with a friend up in the mountains. He'll be able to find me a new one.
Oh, excellent.
And he hands you a little short bow.
Oh, a little
I don't have poison. I'm not an assassin.
Oh, okay.
I'm also, it's very cruel.
What, crueler than
Wait, do I
death?
still have the poison?
Yeah, you have loads of poison.
Yeah. Here, have some poison.
Oh, sweet. Great.
Some
Okay.
poison for you. You seem short on poison. Would you like some? I'll keep it. I'll keep it. It's fine.
Okay,
Not even
sweet.
looking
So I'm
at
Ian's
gonna,
a businessman.
okay, so I'm gonna take that bow and say, oh,
What color poison do you want, Dicky?
The white one, wasn't there? White.
There was a clear one, I think.
a clear one.
Yeah, just so I know.
just bow and clear poison. Cool.
You
That one
get
was
a
clearly
tiny jar of clear poison with that sort of permeable lid that you can dip arrows in,
Yes.
but it doesn't necessarily spill it out.
Excellent. Okay, sweet.
I don't know if jars actually exist like that, but it just
No,
seems
it's a
like...
really cool idea when he said it, but I was like, that doesn't make a shit to
Well, I
us.
mean, if you had like a
Love it.
level, like,
It's
because
a
they
magic lid.
Yeah, magic.
Could be magic.
We live in a fantasy world.
Only
Then.
condoms are 99.9% perfection. This is made of the other one.
1% poison.
yeah.
So you have your condom jar of poison. Let's go back to the room
Okay.
where the giant lizard man has a bouncing hole.
You also have the bouncing hole, the
Yeah.
whippersnapper.
Yeah, we got whippersnapper, got a hunter's bow, got my
Yep.
poison. Okay.
A
Good.
short bow.
Oh, short bow. Oh, I thought you said hunter's bow. Sorry.
No, he uses it to hunt.
Oh, okay. I thought that was a
Which
short
it
bow.
is
Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah.
That's accurate.
You
If you
have a
don't
short
guess, I take what you say and then I
And-
don't think beyond it.
bow. 20 hours.
20 hours. I
Yeah.
wasn't gonna ask. Cool.
Yeah, that would have been.
Didn't
You're
occur
also
to
not
me.
going to keep track,
Thank you
so...
for giving me
No,
a
we're not. Yeah, you're gonna have to tell us afterwards. Bye.
I'm like, you run out of hours, I guess.
Yeah, I wouldn't have
That
asked.
will
Okay.
be bad. It's like, I go fire. It's like, no, you don't.
Or
You
like
ran out
before
of-
this show started, I was like, if you have anything you want to buy in the town, just send it to me beforehand. We'll yada yada it. We'll get on the boat. I mean, I should have known better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
But also, luckily, Quail's not much of a shopper.
I'm good to go now.
I'm
I'm
already
like,
on the
boat.
I'm,
Good to go.
I'm feeling
Anyone else
nautical.
needing-
Feeling nautical.
Oh, you did see other stuff in goats. You saw some light rope. It's rope that's light up. Rian has some of that.
I've got some light rope.
It's on the description. Light rope. It's rope that light up.
Guys, come on. You've never seen light rope before? It's rope that light up.
You also saw a little spider. You know that. You probably didn't want that.
Again, the lines between Lucy and
It's
Iggy
not
are.
for sale. It's
I'm-
just an insect in the window. How much for this?
How much for that spider in the window?
There was a small tree, like a 1 foot tree.
Also not for sale.
A bonsai tree for like
But it
stress
had like
relief.
a little mechanical L on
How
top.
much for the bell in the door?
Yeah.
And then he.
I know.
Boring.
I know you're describing what we perceive without asking any questions, but I mean, yeah, like a tree, like a fucking spider.
I mean, are we in the blacksmith?
Sell us the garment.
He's an inventor, not a merchant. He's not very good at selling things.
Are you claiming that he invented
What can I-
spiders?
And now they're everywhere.
What can I do to get you into a spider today, sir?
This baby. 8 legs.
This baby. Alright, this baby. Oh, damn it.
I know what you're thinking. I'm a centipede guy. I'm going to tell you right now, you need 8 legs.
Yeah. Have you ever seen one of these? They
The
call them
maintenance on
a
that many
tree.
legs.
This spider right here, it's... Oh, God.
It was like
Like
a
we're
little
gonna
bronze
wax
spider.
100 legs.
Bronze spider.
You'll be here all day with these legs.
Alright, I'll bite. Hey, what's with that bronze spider over there? You don't seem to be doing much selling. In fact, for the fancy display case, it's entirely full, which tells me that you haven't sold a damn thing in years.
The sign's doing nothing.
The site's doing nothing. What's with that bronze spider?
To be fair, I make a lot of customs, and these are my own inventions, which people didn't ask for, and then they didn't want.
Okay.
The knot spider, it appears, and he picks it up, and the spider you see crawl across his hand, and then just like form itself into a small ring around his finger, and he goes, "Well, it's a ring, but more importantly, when it's a spider," and he goes, "Give me your light rope,
Light rope.
tied into a knot."
Knot.
And then he puts his hand out, and the spider runs onto the rope, and then just unties the knot, and then runs back onto his hand. It's a knot spider.
That could be useful for a ship.
It could be useful for a ship, actually. Yeah.
It would actually be really bad for a ship.
Yeah.
As soon as it gets on board.
For
yeah.
the other ships.
we moored the ship, didn't we? I was like, I think so.
Spider.
I swear it was here.
So
I left my spider on it.
Does it always untie knots? Like, can you turn it off?
Put the spider on an arrow, fire the arrow in the other boat.
Yes.
As soon as you say the words tie knot, you see the spider scurry, and then just tie a knot, and then scurry back on.
No, I said, why not? This thing is broken.
And it runs off, and it comes back on.
No, it
It goes to a
explodes.
knot and goes,
Yeah, it explodes. You gave it a lot of why not? It's never been programmed for why.
To be honest, I thought I'd sell more of these, being a fisherman's town, but working out a few kinks.
Yeah, fishermen are fairly miserly, as well as being just
I will buy the spider.
For you, Quail, it's a free spider.
Goat. Free mackerel for you when I get back.
Ooh, mackerel.
I'll find you something interesting and
Uncooked, I hope.
Oh, only.
And we as players know that mackerel are next to worthless.
He loves mackerel.
I mean, they're not worthless. They're just not. I mean, I'm saying this
Supply
is
and
Orla.
demand.
I have literally gone fishing for mackerel. Let me tell you, they're the dumbest fish in the ocean.
I'm
No
just gonna
survival.
leave
I-
this bucket here,
I
turn my
picked them-
back,
I
and help the
picked
mackerel
them
jump into
That's
it.
the main thing that quail catches because they're the only thing I've ever gone sea fishing for, and they're real dumb.
Okay.
Fair.
Coming back with a sack full of mackerel.
yeah, land
playing
fishing,
river
caught
fishing.
a couple dogs.
Lot of trash.
That's how I met my ex.
Hey!
Very well played. The other two things left. There's the tree. It's a small 1 foot tree, a tiny mechanical owl on top, and the owl's, he goes, "I can show you this," and the owl's head spins 360 degrees and just goes hoo 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 as it looks at all of you, and he goes, "To be honest, it's not for sale. It's of sentimental value. It just asks hoo hoo if a creature comes within 15 feet of it."
So it's not for sale.
No, it's my
damn it.
sentry.
And as soon as you say not,
God,
for sale,
that's good.
The spider comes out. Spider comes out and tries to sell you a knot.
This not, sir. To be honest, the spider does most of my business.
Was there
Well,
anything
Goat,
else?
I'd like
other
to
than
say
me?
it's been a pleasure, but this has been absolutely useless.
Well, you'll be back. And he goes, "Yes, there's one more thing," and you get presented with a small wooden box with a compass cart on top of
That
it.
doesn't sound useful. Anyway.
And he opens it up, and there's 3 gemstones inside, and they're all kind of a forest green. They're marbled with white lighter specks, and they were made. He tells you a little story. He goes, "These were made for the 3 brothers, Macgron, Macquill, and Mackiat. They're compals. It's a
what?
compass.
I'm sorry?
To find out
They're
Sorry,
what?
Ben.
the compals.
Okay, is it too late to change our gang name?
We're
not up.
Compalss.
I can't remember what he said.
Compass. It's a compass. It lets you know where the other stones
I'm
are,
not
like
there.
a compass.
I'm not there.
Ooh, could I? How
When
much
you're
for that?
pals.
How much for that?
And that is.
I'm not there either because I transcended to a different place.
It's like Blood Brothers, but so much worse.
It's 100 gold.
Come buds.
Oh, that's a bit rich.
equally
Too rich for
easy to
my
get
blood.
DNA from though.
Don't do it at a murder scene.
Tell me, I just remembered something that might be useful on a boat. Do you have any of those weather predicting orbs?
I only make them the size they are, and that's too big for boats.
Okay.
You know, I've been
you were
asking you
spelled
to
and
work
made
on
bigger
that
and
though.
I-
You know,
I
I really
know,
want
I
to
know,
travel
I know.
one
For 1
boat.
minute.
Like
Most
even
people-
this size, because I could tie it down on the deck or something. You know.
Boats are pretty big.
With me longer.
Yeah, it's not that big a boat. I hope you're all ready to be a little bit close quarters.
Of
course.
Is. Yeah.
I love being close quarters.
And so shopping
like a
mightily
big
done.
hug.
So one shop that sells nothing in the player's handbook.
That was my first time ever shopping in D&D, which I've known is the funnest
How
part,
was
right?
it? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that? I can't tell if you're being sarcastic because you're.
I know that's what everyone hates,
That was
right?
We went to this pun first shop where he comes up with the puns first and then invents around them.
I didn't realise
need
that
to
was
remember
what he
for
was doing.
any games I'm running that you can just end with saying, and so shopping ends. You are done now.
Was
You make
was
your
not
way,
spider a pun?
It's
Not-
not.
Yeah,
a
the
spider.
nuts. It's not a spider. Yeah.
I mean,
It's a not
it is a
spider.
spider.
Yeah,
It's
no,
not.
not spider
Okay.
wasn't really a pun, I suppose.
Does
The
it have-
set-
Spider.
The set. Okay.
Does it have 6 legs?
Nope,
Does it look like a spider?
It's made
Yeah.
out of bronze.
So?
it's not spider.
Yeah, it's not a spider.
Spiders aren't made out of bronze.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you know all
And
the
they're
rules,
notoriously
do you?
bad at knots
can't
as well.
invent
Spider
spiders.
rules.
You can invent not spiders.
Well, then
Because spiders were already invented. so I
Spider-Man's
didn't
not a
put
spider
them in.
either.
You can't. Yeah.
So we all head down to the docks.
You make your way down towards the docks. It's an overcast day. The sea is calm. There's a light mist in the air. You know it's roughly a week's travel to get to Drift. You're all loaded up on supplies.
Oh, can I
Does-
just say, I should probably return that toy to that kid as well. Just previously I did that.
Oh, we definitely should do that because
Yeah.
then I can get the deck of cards back in trade.
Oh,
so anyway, with yada yada
Deck
yada.
of cards,
cares
I
a lot.
forgot about that.
Interesting enough,
cards.
you
Have they all died?
during as you were chatting last night, having drinks. The chorus moved out of McKellar.
Oh, okay, cool.
Do I know why?
Yes, you heard that like the day the villagers came back, like under mysterious circumstances,
Yeah.
they left. So if mysterious circumstances is all the information you need, then
Seems legit.
What was within the 50 villagers or 15 villagers? Were any of them the Core's family? No.
no. The sister, we don't know what happened to her.
I never found her.
Yeah,
She's
Sharon?
that snake bitch.
Sharon or Andrea,
I don't know. One of them.
maybe
Okay.
Jim.
Maybe
no,
Jim.
Jim was the husband. But
Jim, yeah.
Jim Jr.
Quail will just say, if
Jim-o.
you ask Quail, will say, yeah, they scarpered as soon as the villagers came back because the eldest daughter wasn't with them. But
I knew we shouldn't have given them a deck of cards.
Asher, everybody in the town knew that. I mean, everyone knows Jim Core was mad, so.
Fair.
And he was when
Okay.
you met him.
They seemed lovely.
So anyway, I uninterrupt you.
So you still have Bunny. I mean, you could just throw it in the sea if you wanted to.
No, I'll
or-
keep her.
Okay.
I need to write all these things down for t-shirts later on down the line. I uninterrupt you. Fucking fantastic. And
It
the
is a
most
great thing
Lucy
to
thing
say.
I've ever heard.
Yeah. And as someone who's been interrupted by
Is-
Lucy in his life a lot.
Me
That's
everyone?
just Ben talk.
Cum pals?
Yeah.
The extra S's are essential.
No, you said there was an extra L.
Oh, everyone's gonna want
No,
cum
2
pals
S's.
on a t-shirt, right?
Yeah.
Everyone
The extra
does
S
want
stands for
cum pals,
sexy.
with or without the t-shirt.
Yeah.
True.
That's
It's
true.
the compass for pals. The cum pals.
I get where you're going with it.
I'm not hearing what you guys are hearing.
Yeah, you must not. You must not.
Oh, God.
Whereas I think Hux Punks is great.
Do you want to describe your Phalem's fate?
Yeah, so Phelan's Fate's a little, sort of like, it looks like a Galway hooker, basically, but about twice the size.
Oh, that
Nice.
gets no pass. The cum pals.
Look,
Galway
it's-
Hooker's a
look,
very
it's
famous
clearly-
boat, Ben.
it's-
Very famous boat.
Pretty normal. Oh, I'm sorry. Like, it's way less weird than the phrase cum
Yeah.
pals. I'm
Also,
sorry.
we're kind of desensitized to it now because between our new sailor friend, it's been a very semen-oriented episode.
It has, it's true.
Good episode title.
Thank you.
Semen oriented.
Semen oriented.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Phalem's fate.
So Phelan's Fate, yeah, so it's got the dark wood and dark kind of red maroon sails, but it's a bit bigger. So it's more of a longer seafaring vessel than you might vessel than you might see.
Not
like
as easy as it looks.
in a regular hooker.
Yeah.
Come on, Ben, relax.
It's a very small
People make
hooker.
mistakes. I swear.
No, it's bigger than a usual hooker.
Oh, okay. It's bigger than usual.
Yeah. I mean, Quayle's 7.5 feet tall. She needs a bigger than usual hooker.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she thinks it's a small boat. That makes sense. Yeah, cool.
Saw the first boat and said we're gonna need a bigger boat.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need a bigger hooker.
Yeah, I need a much bigger hooker than this.
I'm sorry.
Please.
Yeah, no offense, but I'm gonna need a bigger hooker.
She seems lovely.
Then drive on, sir. I mean, this is not a store.
I'm sorry. This is a Bewley's.
That's my wife.
Drive on, sir.
The ducks. Yeah, so it's kind of, but it's obviously not designed to be on for like a week at a time. It's obviously only really designed to be on for a few days at a time. And it is, once all 5 of us are on it, especially with 2 tall people, it's a little tight. There isn't even like a cabin.
Oh, there's no like under.
Right.
No,
Okay.
there's just like, there's one part of the deck that's like dual, so there is a bit under. They can get, like, if it rained, you could get in and out of the rain.
Okay.
But like, if we were to all get in and out of the rain, we would literally be sitting in each other's laps.
Okay. Is there like a covered part though?
We could pull a tarp over and make that bit a bit bigger,
Okay.
but it's not a.
No, on the
not
deck,
a-
is there like a
comfortable
covery part?
No, it's like, it's meant to go out, fish for a day, sleep overnight, and come back in.
Okay,
That's
cool.
what it's
It
designed
can
for.
make the Kessel run in less than 12 parsecs,
Yeah.
though, so for a smuggling boat.
Is that time or distance, Ben?
In McKellar, it's both.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like saying, oh, I ran that race in less than 13 kilometers.
You'll never know. Up to 13 kilometers.
It's called cheating.
And so, as you get on this boat and set sail, you up anchor?
Yes.
Way anchor.
No.
Wait, no, that's stop.
No.
Way! Anchors.
Yeah.
As you say, as they pull them, whoa, hey, anchor! And you,
There isn't actually an anchor. That's what makes it so wild.
Well, immediately realizes that we don't know how to sail. Way anchor! Oh, Christ.
It's alright, I sail this by myself anyway.
and you carve your way towards the horizon. I need one thing from all of you before we call it a day.
A high five?
And
Oh,
a
you're so
low
needy.
tide. This ocean doesn't have a name.
Which?
The ocean that you're sailing through currently doesn't have a name.
I've got Cornish
sorry.
Cloudy.
Even in the world.
Ooh,
It could be the
Cornish
cloudy
Cloudy's
sea.
good. The cloudy sea.
The Estrella.
Perfect.
Nice.
Perfect for a seaman-focused episode.
Yeah,
Cloudy sea?
the cloudy
Cloudy
sea.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because
that's
all I have is
great.
pink vapor stew.
See a doctor, man.
Yeah, veto that.
Because it's either that or the ocean's called Dan.
Can we go with Dan?
Dan
Dan.
Kelly.
Down the ocean.
Down the ocean, man.
It's better than, what was the first river we ever met? Ishka or something?
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Who was drinking water? One
I
of
can't
us.
remember.
I think there really is a river in Meath that's called Ishka.
Yeah, there is.
I was given guff for naming things like a magic city. Drift. I'm like, have you seen Irish maps?
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
there's like 10 different towns that are just called Town Beside a Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
leave
well.
town aside of rock number 3 alone.
Are you ragging on their rocks?
Like Glendalough, it's a valley with 2 lakes in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what would we call it? It's a valley with 2 lakes in it.
I get
Yeah.
the feeling when
It's a
we were
beautiful
being
language.
colonized, we were just being very sarcastic to those English makers.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
what you call this? Oh, the lake with 2, or like the 2 lakes in a valley? Yeah, that's what we call it.
It's also like, hey, oh my gosh, what's that? It's a rock. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
a big rock.
We're secretly amongst ourselves we called it something else.
important, kingship site called? It's just a big rock.
Yeah.
Hey, where are we? Black Rock. Hey, where's over there?
Black Rock.
Grey stones.
Yeah.
And where are we going from now? Roundstone.
Yeah.
It's near Roundwood.
The highest town in
Just
Ireland.
say what you see. Yeah.
Blues it.
What was the name of the, what was the name of the sea again? Cloudy.
Cloudy sea.
Cloudy Sea.
Cloudy sea. Perfect.
Cloudy sea.
Cloudy sea.
Nice. In fairness to our postal system, you can just write. I've once written mom, and then her address, and it got or like just the street name.
Well, the address.
Yeah.
No, I mean like just the like.
I wrote mom once and then her address.
Full address and it got there.
Were you
all?
were you afraid she was gonna throw it out? Like I don't know who this is for.
I'm not a mom.
I can't open this.
I
It's
disowned that
illegal.
boy.
No, I wrote just like the general area, and it got to her.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'd like,
like-
because that would be really sad if like she got that come out. She's like, no, I have no. That's why have all these return to sender letters.
The Unpost are incredible at just like delivering letters.
Yeah, there's a good blog about that.
No, but like
Literally their
like,
job.
An electric Ireland is supply electricity no matter where you are.
Yeah, they go above and beyond.
Excellent.
They're actually mediocre at it.
Supply.
This is going to be harder to sell sponsors when you're.
look it up.
We've lost on
Like,
Post now.
Just like,
How can you trust his opinion when he gives such riveting reviews?
honestly, don't trust these bozos. Look up some of the letters that have been delivered by Unpost with no address.
There is a
written on
cool
them.
blog about it. Yeah, it shows that the
They're
the
very
drawing
good.
of
No,
maps and
they do
stuff,
it
yeah.
actually.
That said, though, our house, because it's spelled a bit weird, we've got posts for just about everyone in our area but our house. We never lose any post. We get all our own post. We just also get all of our neighbours' post because there's a few like 1As and 3Bs in the area, and when they're not sure what house to deliver to, they just send it to us.
Is your house name Defaults?
It's getting pretty close. It's like one of these things
That's
where
a
like
great Irish.
Say your full address. Say your full address.
we've never had a complaint about post going missing after we just left it there because they seem to know their neighbours, so we'll just.
And as we
Yeah.
sail into the cloudy sea, that is where we'll end tonight's session.
It just sounds like a sex metaphor.
Sailing into the clouds.
Cloud is sea.
No, just me.
What?
Okay.
That was
Don't
like
let
the
the
only thing we've said
That
wasn't about sex.
Listen, my pals, I can't really shake.
None of us bought the compounds.
Yeah, you
None of
don't
us
buy
are
them.
your compounds.
Yeah, someone else out there is the compals. The next set of adventures on another one shot.
Not like friends. We use no interest.
I
in
definitely
compound.
mispronounced.
Never change.
Mispronounced. Macarena, I think. It's I looked them up. They're deadly brothers in Irish folklore and mythology.
Oh, cool. Macarena.
Macarena, Mac, Celt, and Mac something else. It's the sun, the hazelnut, and the plough. Like three
Yeah,
big.
because they're married to the three women that Ireland are named
Yeah,
after.
yeah.
which is, Eru,
Banba.
Fola, and Banba, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Who
Macarena.
sell them up the river once those Milesians land, am I right, lads? Because they got the country named after them. It's great.
Yeah.
So look that up.
Are we being racist? I can't tell.
To us?
Well,
Like,
technically,
Malaysians
we're
is
the
very close to
Malaysians in that
Malaysians.
context.
Oh, I thought you said Malaysians. Like
No,
people from
no,
Malaysia.
no.
Okay.
No.
I
Malaysians.
understand.
Did you not know that
That makes much more sense.
that old historical crossing point of the ancient Irish Celts?
And the Tuatha De Danann fought Malaysia.
Am I racist?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much for watching. We will be back in 2 weeks live on this channel or on
In this
YouTube.
place.
We have video on demand. It goes up the Saturdays after our stream. So if you're just catching up, we'll see you. Hopefully more episodes are out. You can just binge.
Yeah.
Hopefully you want to continue binging.
We got playlists for all, organised for all the episodes and the non-episodes, like our Q&As and one-shots and
Yeah.
bump when no one's around. But otherwise, playlist of regular episodes.
Woo!
We will be back. Until then, be sound to one another.
Bye. Let's come next time.
I